We know what they really want this holiday. The perfect pleasure present from Lovers. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and grab something to satisfy yourself, too. Lovers has all the toys and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for the hottest holiday gifting. Mention presents for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday electronic gifts like monitors, tablets, and video games. You'll have money left over for that drum set for your little drummer. And some noise-canceling headphones. Or an outdoor speaker system so the entire neighborhood can hear your holiday tunes. Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, a few weeks ago, we shared the story of a Paulsbo, Washington woman whose home had become overrun with raccoons after feeding them for the last 30 years. And sure, it was a problem of her own making, but it was, in fact, a problem. Well, thanks to wildlife officials, a very simple solution was found. Stop feeding them. And what do you know? It worked. Now, on the other side of the state in Spokane, the Hilliard neighborhood, they're under siege from hordes of bunnies.
No.
Yes, bunnies. They may be cute, but at their current numbers, they become a nuisance. Apparently, they're digging up gardens, and like drug addicts on 3rd Avenue in downtown Seattle, they're pooping everywhere. Now, all they need to do is contact our very own Miles Montgomery, give him a lawnmower, he'll take care of it. But until then, they've got bunnies to deal with. And while Spokane grapples with bunnies, Florida residents in areas that were battered by Hurricanes Helene and Milton, they're returning home to find alligators and snakes wandering their halls as a result of the floodwaters. The only advice from wildlife officials there is avoid dark water and don't mess with gators and snakes. Sound advice for sure. Meanwhile, a town in Argentina, they're preparing for the annual onslaught of wild parrots. Sure, they're pets here in the States, but about 70,000 of them show up in this one town, and they wreak havoc, causing significant property damage, etc. But at least it's only once a year. An entire town in Thailand has almost been abandoned because of the 3,500 monkeys that have taken it over in pretty much every way imaginable. The story is actually pretty terrifying and messed up, and we'll share the story with you coming up. But first, we want to hear from you, because clearly we're talking animals today, and those animals, they can be cute, they can be fuzzy, they can be ugly, but today they're causing frickin' problems. And that's what our question is today. What was the animal or animals that caused the problem?
To be a part of the Big Show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9. KISW.
All the tells, away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4,198. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Once again, we'll sit and spin, and today we get banned by the folks at Walmart. 10 albums that were banned by the chain store.
Look, I'm not even making fun of Walmart at this point, but like Walmart is well known to let a lot of stuff fly inside of the store. I can't imagine them saying, hey, this will offend our customers. Like, have you met your customers?
All genres of music are represented, and for a number of reasons, just depend on what Walmart finds to be offensive.
Nothing.
Well, some of the
they don't ban anything offensive.
some of the content is the actual songs that are included on the album. Other instances where they banned artists is based on the artwork, anything on the front cover of the album, the name of the album, sometimes even the name of the band. There have been bands that have gone back and changed their entire album cover just for their Walmart release. Others that have edited things out of songs for their Walmart release.
I get it, because Walmart is a massive, massive retailer. So, look, if you're in a band, you want your music there, right? No question. I just find it crazy, you could walk into Walmart to meet with them about your album because there's something about the cover they didn't like or the name, and point at 25% of the customers and like, well, what about that shirt or what that shirt says or the way this person's dressed or, frankly, what that guy's doing with the ice cream cone? And
absolutely.
That's good.
Some artists put their foot down and they said, no, I'm not changing this.
Yeah.
I'm going to. And their albums did not get sold in Walmart. And they lost thousands of dollars, but more than that.
Probably millions. Because AC/DC put out an album, I believe, at least initially it was Walmart exclusive. I can't remember which one it was. It's only like 2 or 3 albums ago.
Yeah.
But they only released it to Walmart, and they still sold like 3 million copies.
Some of these albums, the artist said, no, we're not changing anything. And the band and the album were bigger than Walmart, and Walmart said, you know what? We'll be the ones to take a step back and, you know what, just put it out there and have it for sale.
I mean, sure, if you're Metallica or something, you can say, we're not changing anything, right? But most bands aren't on that level. Taylor Swift could tell them to suck it. I get it. But most bands and artists, you're just not where they're at.
No. In some of these bands...
And Walmart's so big, you need to sell your stuff for that.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. And some of these bands, you can't... Most of all these bands, without question, maybe 1 or 2... Some of them will blow your mind. I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but back in the hair metal days, there was a band called Stryper. And Stryper was a Christian metal band.
No, they weren't. That's how they sold themselves.
That is how they sold themselves, yes. I mean, there were a couple niche, so to speak, bands of that era. Mm-hmm. Loudness was, they were a Japanese band.
And that was a big deal.
Stryper was a Christian band. Everybody kind of had a little niche.
You had to be something.
Yeah. And Stryper got banned from Walmart. Stryper, the Christian rock band, got banned from Walmart.
Huh.
Yeah. So we're going to play a tune, and we're going to...
Stryper, I'm assuming they got banned because their music sucked.
I'm going to give you the name of the album and the name of the band, and you try to figure out why you believe that Walmart said, no, we're not selling this.
Okay.
Right. That's coming up with Sit and Spin. What else do we have for you today? We have a chance for you to win tickets to Disturbed as they come May 5th to Climate Pledge Arena. What they told us to do was give you a time to give the code word. We've determined the time today is going to be 4:20. Sometime around there, whenever the music stops, the commercials end, or wherever we are, I will give you that code word. You text that to 206-803-ROCK for your chance to enter to win those tickets. Not only do we have Disturbed tickets, we have 5K a day, as we are falling into 5K a day. There's too much show today, folks.
Too much.
If you listen to us on the Odyssey app for an hour, you're entered to win a chance to win your share of $5,000 a day.
Or just listen to us on the radio and get no money, but
Yeah, but log in when you download the Odyssey app. It's absolutely free. All you need to do is listen for 1 hour to this fine radio program, and you'll be entered to win your share of $5,000.
I'm just a big fan. Just listen on the radio if you can, but whatever.
Well, we listen to the radio in here, so we don't get a chance to actually win the contest, so to speak. So we listen to the big speakers back there in our
we should listen online.
Yes, wait, there's more. Hold on. Not only do you get the peeler and the slicer, as announced this morning on the Daily Mix Morning Show, Live Day has been announced. That is going down Friday night, December the 13th. Friday the 13th. We're doing it live. Showbox Soto is the venue this year. Everything we do will be live, from the Daily Mix Show to our show, live on stage, the sound effects, all the music that you're going to hear, hosts, the ghosts, as it's Friday the 13th.
Real ghost.
Real ghost. Barbershop Quartet will be there. Of course, live music from the new originals, along with special guests. It's going to be a great night.
Shot of the day, a toast.
It's going to be a Friday night, too.
Yes.
So it's going to be all good. Tickets will go on sale this Friday morning at 10, just so you know. So that is just announced as of this morning.
That's a good time. And Showbox Soda, man, we haven't been there in a hot minute, but I've never had a bad time in any event that we've ever done there.
No, we've
I've seen some things. I've had some experiences, but I've never had a bad time. Weren't you bitten by someone?
I've had so much weirdness go down at Showbox Soda over the years that I can't even So it's just too much. Where I'm just like, this is just weird.
You're the only person I know that's been bitten.
I was bitten. That was
by another person, I guess.
Yeah, that was. And it wasn't a loving bite. It was like, hey, dude, seriously, stop biting me, kind of thing. No, I'm dead serious. Stop biting me. They wouldn't stop biting me. I was like, this is a very interesting night.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen to you, though, at Live Day. So just keep that in mind.
Well, you're telling me no one that shows up at Live Day in the audience, not one of them will be bitten by another human being?
I sure hope not. No.
I'd pay an extra $5 for that.
Yeah, I've seen some. We've seen some surreal things go down in that venue. That place is fantastic.
I love it. That's why I love it.
Yeah, I'm happy to be going back. Last time we were back there, I'm trying to think. Last time I was there, I went for Steel Panther, who puts on a great show, man. That's
oh yeah.
And it was nice to be there and not be working. I mean, no offense, but just like to be able to kick back and watch the band and hang out. And had a great night that night, man. I normally kick it across the street at the bar for a little while.
No, never do that.
Every once in a while before things starts. So those tickets go on sale Friday morning at 10 a.m. All right, our question today: what was the animal or animals that caused the problem? We'll start here in Washington State for a little good news. The Washington State woman and her raccoon ordeal appears to be over.
Oh.
The Paulsbo resident, do you ever feel like sometimes when you read this story, like, has this person called into our show before? Do we know this individual? Because it seems like we've talked to some pretty interesting characters throughout the years.
If she herself does not listen to the show, someone that listens to the show knows her.
Paula, I'm sorry. As soon as I read this story, I just thought of you. I know.
Honest to God, that was my first
You might
thought.
not be a Paulsbo, but I just like, I wonder if it's Paula feeding all the raccoons.
Yeah, but
in the neighborhood.
But she takes care of animals.
She takes care and rehabilitates them.
Right.
So I doubt she'd be out there feeding random wild raccoons.
I don't know. First person that popped into my head. I just got to be honest with you. She fled her home, the residence, and called 911 after her house was surrounded by 100 hungry raccoons demanding food, according to the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office, who got involved. Police put her in contact with wildlife officials. And again, I go back to Coon Trapper.
Yeah.
Is he involved in this? There's another listener to the Fine Radio program who deals with trapping raccoons. Right?
I think he already texted in. He caught 27 of them in one woman's backyard, but that was in West Seattle.
That's in West Seattle.
Where he caught them.
That seems crazy to have that many raccoons in West Seattle.
Man, look, this is what I believe about raccoons.
I mean, just as heavily populated as that area is.
There's a raccoon family that lives somewhere, not even my neighborhood, but my general area, right? And there's this little hole in the fence between me and the neighbor's yard, and we call it the Silk Road, because all the local wildlife, all the stray cats, the raccoons, you name it, they all go in and out of this hole. My dog sniffs it every morning and every night just to see who's gone by. And there are two that I know of for a fact. The one is so remarkably fat and struggles to climb up the fence. I watch this every night when I smoke. He's got his wife with him, and they just make the pilgrimage down the Silk Road. But if I started feeding them, which I do not, I get the feeling about 85 raccoons that I have never seen would start showing up.
So they sent a...
Which, by the way, quick side note, is that weird to you? Because it seems like crows are already in a group together. So if you feed one, they all know, right? I feel like if I'm a raccoon and this lady keeps feeding me and I know, hey, I show up at her house and I'm getting fed, knowing that everyone's territorial, you're fighting for food, I'm not sharing that with my raccoon buddies.
Well, seagulls do it all the time.
They
tell everybody, like, look, man, this is not just a one-on-one deal. I mean, everybody's coming to the party, and they don't stop. So
I think it's different, though, right?
Why?
Because we even do it. We all bring our lunch or go buy our own lunches, right? But every once in a while, this building will have some event, and Mike and I will come back and be like, hey, you got to get down there. That free food is amazing.
You know what? That is a good one. You
so
never share your lunch. I got you.
Right. I'd be like, if we're all raccoons, I have my dumpster, you have yours. But if there's free food, some lady's just throwing out.
Okay.
Well, the raccoons of our office are the sales department. And if you want to lure them in, you have to bring them food. And then
we have lunch.
All right, we're on our way. Get a little crusty old bagel that they cut in half.
You're not wrong.
No, I'm serious. How else would you get them in here?
Yeah, if you need them all at once.
You got to feed them.
You have to offer food.
You have to feed them. They cannot feed themselves. If they're coming to the office, they must be fed.
Yes.
By hand. So they have a wildlife conflict specialist. He went and talked to this woman, basically said, stop feeding them. And
I could have told her that.
That's the long and the short
I bet you her neighbors probably told her that.
Now, the raccoons appear to have started dispersing now that they are no longer being fed. They said they're glad for the positive outcome to the case. She said she'd been leaving food in her yard for about a dozen raccoons for 35 years. But they were joined by dozens of aggressive newcomers about 6 weeks ago. This story is straight out now of the New York Times. She said those raccoons were becoming increasingly a little more aggressive, demanding food. They would hound her both day and night, and they would scratch on the outside of her home and at her door at all times of the day.
Yeah.
If she pulled up in her car, they would surround the car and scratch at the car and surround her if she went from her front door to her car or went outside at all. She's basically trapped in her house, one way or the other. They saw this as a food source, so they kept coming back, and they kept expecting food. The sheriff's office...
Because she kept feeding them.
Determined no laws were broken. It's a nuisance problem, kind of its own making, and she's got to deal with it. It's illegal to feed large carnivores like bears, but no law against feeding raccoons.
So where's the cutoff? Like, if I fed coyotes, remember, like, how tiny are we talking? Right, I get the bear. I can't feed a bear legally.
Mm-hmm.
I can feed raccoons legally, but if it's...
Is it a size thing? Is that what you're...
I think it's predator.
I feed the cougar in my backyard. I mean, that's probably a no-no. I just leave a big chunk of meat out, you know?
I guess it's a no-no.
Now, Ted, you were talking about...
I was saying, I think it's got to be just predator.
Just if you are a predator.
Right, because I want to say in Washington, in certain counties, there's not even laws against shooting coyotes because they're predators and they'll eat your livestock and stuff. So, but you don't hear about raccoons eating livestock.
That's a good point. And when you do, move.
I know, Ted, you and your friends, you've discussed this before, have had the conversations about the crows and how they migrate, I guess, on a daily basis.
UW Bothell.
And is that where they go?
Yeah. Like if you go out in the evening time, because they're like a community.
All right.
So they all kind of have their separate little areas of either Seattle or, let's say, Lake City or whatever. But every night, for some reason, what's at the soccer fields up there by the lake, they all fly up there.
That's such a weird, because after you told me that, I brought it up to someone who's like, oh, yeah, man, I've known that for years. And I go, so, like, this is a thing.
So, like, the ones outside of my house, do they just quack at each other and say it's time to go back home?
Well, it's time to roll, man.
And they take off?
I could tell you, because Thrill lives close enough to me. Like, if it's after work and my buddy Joe, we're going to go out. Mm-hmm. He picks me up around, especially, like, 6:45. Like, it's just a steady...
Stream of crows
flying back.
Well, the crows...
What time do they show up? Because, and look, it's not like I get up super early. Maybe 7:30 at the earliest. But I go outside, smoke a cigarette. They're already out there doing whatever it is crows do, right? But you're right. When I get home after work, there's not a sign of a single one of them. I never really thought about it until you said it. But, yeah, they're there every morning, but they're not there by the time I get home.
Okay, so here's my question, all right? We know that the crows communicate.
Yeah.
And they can communicate with each other. You can hear them do that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially when they're in pairs and they're talking to each other. Now, the raccoons, this woman had been feeding them. This had been going on for 35 years.
And just in the last few weeks.
Yes. So, you know, for the most part, there were about a dozen that would show up, and that was the extent of it. Who told some other raccoon, look, man, there's this party. It's at this woman's house. You got to come down here with us. To me, like, do they just look at each other and give them a look like, follow me, I have food? How do they communicate? I've never heard a raccoon make noise before.
Or is it a shakedown? So you're a raccoon, I'm a raccoon. For whatever reason, for 3 weeks now, you keep showing up with a little extra grub, right? Maybe a little something you want to stash. Do I slap you around and say, hey, Montgomery, where did you get this
all of a sudden,
and you say, look, man, don't beat me up. I can take it in this house.
All of a sudden, 80-some more show up.
Right.
So who spread the word?
I don't know.
Because that was the first story. Word got around in Raccoonville that this woman had been feeding the raccoons, so they all showed up on one day.
Equating this to human beings, the people I know, there are people that gossip more than others. So a certain person popped up in my head like, if they were a raccoon, they're the ones. Because there are no such thing as a secret with this person. Right? Hey, man, don't tell anyone, blah, blah, blah. 2 days later, everybody knows, right? So in my mind, I'm picturing this person as a raccoon, and I'm saying, you're the one that spilled the beans. We said we had a good thing going.
Like the Facebook stalker of the group.
Yeah, basically.
But I bet those raccoons were showing up a little more in numbers.
What do you mean?
Like, I bet that a few of them had been there a few times, as opposed to one day.
Yeah, but how do you tell your buddy when you're a raccoon? Hey, man, come on.
I'm just saying, I don't think it was like one day, 100 of them. You know, it started with like a couple of them, then there was like 20, then 30, then finally one day it was just like, yo, let's just go take her.
Our question, what was the animal or animals that caused the problem? 206-803-ROCK.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday beauty gifts, like hair care, makeup, and skincare. You'll have money left over to get your bro the big bottle of cologne. Just remind him one spritz is enough. Or waterproof mascara resilient enough for watching the holiday classics. I love this part. Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Life can be hectic, and managing your mental health is more important today than ever before. That's why Mindful Therapy Group's mission is to take the difficulty out of finding a therapist. Whether you need talk therapy, psychological testing, even medication management, Mindful has you covered. Our compassionate therapists specialize in helping you navigate stress, anxiety, ADHD, OCD, and so much more. With both in-person and telehealth appointments available, you can get the support you need in as little as 48 hours. To make things easier, Mindful Therapy Group also accepts most insurance plans, including Medicare, allowing you to focus on you and not your wallet. Mindful mental health providers offer services for children, teens, adults, and seniors seeking individual, family, or couples therapy. Whatever you need, we're here for you. Join us to start your journey to a healthier and happier you. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com or call 562-MINDFUL to get started today.
Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How did you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just go to their website.
Go to unlock.com/radio to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Go to unlock.com/radio right now to see if you qualify to unlock the value in your home. That's unlock.com/radio. Go to unlock.com/radio.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, what was the animal or animals that caused the problem? 206-803-ROCK.
A couple of texts here. We were talking about crows. Personally, I enjoy crows. I like their attitude. Don't F with me. I don't F with you. I'm like, cool. That's how I like life. Someone here says crows are awful. I had a coworker whose dog ended up catching a crow in its mouth. It didn't kill the crow, but for the following week, his car was peppered with cow crap, and it started dive bombing his dog. Crows hold grudges. They absolutely do.
Sure do.
They absolutely do. We actually have an article on how to make friends with crows. Let's see. Someone here says, we used to feed the ducks that landed in our backyard. Started with 2 pairs of mallards, ended up with their entire flock, literally dozens and dozens of mallards covering the entire yard. One especially confident female would come up as a representative and peck on our back door until we came out and shelled out the bread. Most of them were actually pretty sweet birds, and we fed them until the neighbor's Rottweiler broke free and spent it in our yard. Never saw a duck again. That makes a lot of sense. And then someone here, I live in the country on a few acres. Well, in the summer, we get mosquitoes and other insects badly. So I built a bat house on a pole to attract bats to my yard. All right. You go, okay, this makes sense. Let's see. Some bats moved into the bat house, but a bunch also moved into the neighbor's attic. He didn't notice for at least a couple of months. They had S everywhere and caused him $35,000 of damage. Well, now he's mad at me because he got the idea for a bat house from me. So he wrote a passive-aggressive letters blaming me and asking me to help him pay for damages. He even said he'd get a lawyer. He's a little eccentric. By the way, it's the middle of the field, so they're nowhere near my house. My neighbor's house is about 1/8 of a mile away. Did the same thing, but he built his right next to his home.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, we put ours away from the house, you see. He built it next to his house, and Bachelor like, ooh, attic.
What was the animal or animals that caused the problem? 206-803-ROCK.
Guess who it is, Ted?
James.
James, welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
So, when I was younger, my mom got a ferret out of nowhere. Like, I came down the stairs, and there was just a cage on the floor with a ferret in it. And at that time, not knowing what it is, I thought it was just a long rat, which I thought kind of weird, obviously. But one night, this thing just got on top of a chest that had a monster can on top of it, and he just knocked that thing over.
Hey, you know what, you need to call us back.
Hey, give us a call back,
Your
man.
phone is clipping out, and it might not be you. It might be us.
It might.
Let's try another call.
Remember, it happened last week. We thought everyone had a crappy cell phone, and then we found out it's our phone system,
sometimes
which is notoriously awesome.
We have to reboot it every once in a while. So that might be the case. We'll find out now.
All right. Hello, Sam. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, what's happening?
Hola. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, big news. Okay, that's better. So I got a major wreck.
Hold on, Sam, hang on.
Yeah.
I was going to put you back on hold.
That's right.
Not going to hang. We got to get back to. We got to get the phones reset, which might knock everyone off. Just call back because we got a bunch of callers on there. I'd like to hear your stories, but I cannot do this again.
Well, since you brought it up,
I just got to say, it's more annoying when it's us.
It is because you know anyone else you go because. If it's your cell phone, like, hey, let me take it off speaker, let me take it off Bluetooth, let me just aim my phone this direction, problem solved. When it's us, we're just effed.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you brought up the crows and why you should befriend a crow. According to National Geographic, crows are some of the most intelligent birds in the world. They've also always been held in incredible high esteem, and they are considered to be, believe it or not, symbols of prophecy, transformation, change, and freedom. However, as majestic and revered as these birds are, they are also not to be messed with. According to Science World, crows are incredibly territorial during May and June. They are known to dive and strike humans not just once, but repetitively until the human in question has moved a good distance away from the nest.
Yeah.
In fact, they say you may actually want to be a little more friendly with crows and even befriend one. For real. This is because after a 5-year study by the scientists at the University of Washington, they found they possess an unusually good memory for human faces linked to a stressful event. Is it any irony that the University of Washington would be the ones to pick up a study on crows based on what you said?
Because they all go up to UW Bothell.
Yeah. I mean, somebody texted in from there. They said, look, I work at UW Bothell, and basically we have a lot of wooded areas so they can roost. Mm-hmm. And then they go out to the neighborhoods, to eat or gather what they need.
And they say possibly because they started doing that in 2009 because the trees and restored campus wetlands offer also nighttime protection to them.
Oh, okay. And also, but it doesn't make sense that the crows at UW would be intelligent where the ones maybe at Wazoo just drink a lot.
Yeah.
They just party naked.
Now, what they do say is, check this out.
And hopefully they hate ducks.
If you do befriend a crow, it will buddy up to you.
You're also kind of lonely.
They will bring you gifts and will be fiercely protective and hold a hell of a grudge if they do not like you.
Do they say what kind of gifts? Because your cat can bring a dead animal. It's like, this is a gift.
John Marsloff, he's a conservation ecologist at UW, said the crows take part in gifting. They will leave behind keys, lost earrings, bones, or rocks for the people who feed them.
Keys, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
These following steps can help you become friends with a crow. Step number 1. Find food that crows seem to like and deep in stock, keep it. Crows tend to like nuts and seeds. That's number 1.
I don't befriend them, but I always talk very nicely to the crows because my parking spot in my building's close to a dumpster. Mm-hmm. So always kind of bouncing around. I'm always like, hey, buddy, just like getting in my car.
My only thing with the crows, and look, I'm cool with them because they hang on the fence and or like all the telephone wires or whatever the hell it is between me and my neighbor's yard. I'm just outside more than them. So I always kind of greet them, and they're cool with me, man. But it seems like as a result of them being cool with me, they're cool with the dog. The dog has never gotten a crow in its mouth, but dog's going to dog. And if I was not holding it on the leash, it goes after the crow. But I swear to God, if I open the door and walk out to smoke a cigarette, The crows look at me, and they continue doing what they're doing. I open the door with the dog on the leash. There's this one call that goes out, and literally, they just go up to the telephone wires, let us walk the dog, and they drop back down, and then when I come back around the corner from walking the dog, there's another, and they'll jump in. Just like, look, the four-legged one, bitch is crazy. Just get out of harm's way.
They say establish a regular feeding schedule so they know when to expect you. That way they'll show up. Don't overdo it. Don't feed them full meals, just enough to let them know that you care and you want to befriend them.
Our first course.
Don't overdo it as far as feeding them too often, because then they'll become dependent. And you just don't throw food out there and walk away. You stay at a respectful distance to watch them eat. So you may see them eat it on the spot, but it's actually important that the crow knows
that you're watching,
who the food came from.
And what am I feeding them again?
Nuts
and stuff.
And seeds.
Do they like salt and vinegar pre-shelled pistachios?
You can find out.
I would guess so.
If they don't, they're getting your ass.
Right. Guess what kind of nuts I have in my house?
I'm guessing those. Yeah. Somebody texted in here, the Rev, right, used to work the morning show, says the Rev, he befriended crows. They brought him AirPods.
Oh, no kidding.
Sweet. That is a deal. I mean, I get it, because the crows are like, look, I have no use for an earring, a key, or AirPods, but you two-legged weirdos seem to do these things, so you give me some seeds. Here's this crap that you guys like.
That's amazing.
But AirPods, that's a deal, man.
Yeah. Not a lot of animals.
That's how I'm Christmas shopping this year for the kids. Like, look, guys, this is what we're going to do, all right? We're going to call it the Crow Christmas. We're all individually going to feed the crows at different times. They will like us for different reasons. See what they bring you back, and then we will gift it to each other.
Okay, should we try the phones one more time?
Yeah, you can give it a shot.
All right. Take 3.
Someone here, I had a crow bring me a Scrabble tile, the letter I. Hello, Devin. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
So this is kind of an interesting job that I went to years ago. A lot of times people say that they have an animal. This is a raccoon job. They say in the house. I assume like in the attic or the crawl. Not actually in the house. And this guy was like 80 or 90 years old. So the daughter met me at the house, opened the front door, and it was early afternoon, somewhere in there. And there was about 7 or 8 raccoons inside the living room, and this old man was asleep on the couch. And he had no idea they were even in there. And I guess that had been going on for weeks.
And he himself had no idea that this was happening.
Well, he had about 10 cats that lived in the house, too. And I guess supposedly he had really bad eyesight, and he never was able really to differentiate between...
Coon Trapper, are you telling me that guy was sitting on his couch patting a raccoon?
More than likely he was at some point. I never saw that. Almost the whole time I was there, he was asleep.
Were the cats and the raccoons interacting?
Yeah, they were completely coexisting inside this place. There was 2 cats and 2 or 3 raccoons that were just all eating together.
We'll be damned.
Yeah, because he'd feed his cats inside the house, but then how the raccoons were actually getting in was he had cut out part of the siding or removed a window maybe, and then did like a plank walkway up to the side of the house. And it didn't even have a door on it, like a cat door or dog door. It was just open. So the cats and the raccoons, and I mean, there could have been, for all I know, tweakers crawling in there.
Do you give people recommendations? Like, look, you go up there and do your job. I mean, but then you explain, like, look, man, you literally have an open door policy. You need to cover that, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I discussed with mainly his daughter. And, obviously, in order to completely stop it, that has to happen. It's got to be boarded up. But they actually, believe it or not, didn't want to do that just because it would limit the cats from coming and going inside and out. So I ended up just giving him some recommendations of maybe a cat door that opens and closes with the collar, or a tag.
Right.
Have you ever been bit by an animal that you're trying to wrangle in?
No, thankfully. No, I've never been bit.
So no threat of ever having to have like a rabies shot or anything like that?
No. I've actually never got those pre-rabies shots. When I worked for a company in Kirkland before I started doing my own thing, they highly recommended it or encouraged me to do it, and they would even have paid for it. But I don't really like shots. I mean, nobody does.
Yeah, I guess not.
Just given your line of work, that seems kind of important.
I mean, can you tell by the temperament of an animal, whether it's drooling or whatever the deal is? Okay, this might be a rabid animal. Have you ever encountered that?
Yeah, I've seen a couple that I think are rabid. What I've seen actually a lot more is distemper. which the animal just appears. I've seen more than just raccoons with it. The animal just appears extremely intoxicated, honestly. I mean, they're just like hammered drunk, trying to stand up, fall over. And that's a lot more common here. I haven't personally, I've never got a raccoon.
All right, let's do nightmare stuff. Rats in the toilet. You ever had to remove one of those?
No, I don't really do much rodent stuff or what's called pest control, like spiders, ants, rats, mice, none of that kind of stuff.
Right, so what qualifies in the raccoon world then? I'm assuming that would include like a possum or stuff like that?
You mean as far as the stuff I'll deal with?
Yes.
Yeah, basically like a squirrel and up.
All right, how about a weasel?
I don't like doing squirrel jobs because the hole is just tiny especially if you got to go around a three-story house. That's kind of a pain. That's more pest control stuff. So I usually go after the bigger, like mainly raccoons, but yeah, possums, coyotes, bobcat, river otter, beaver.
What do you do with the bobcat? Like, what's the plan? I got a bobcat prowling around the yard or whatever the deal is. Like, what do you show up with to prepare for this?
Well, I have some traps that are special for bobcats. They're just a taller trap. They're about 20-plus inches tall compared to a raccoon trap's about 12 inches tall. The width doesn't really matter because a bobcat's about the same width as a raccoon.
Is there a designated area where they request, like the state, that you relocate the animal to, depending on what it is?
So I actually, when I called in several years ago and talked to you guys asked me that. In Washington, the law for nuisance wildlife, which is the term they use, they have to be euthanized. There's no relocation or releasing of nuisance wildlife in Washington. The law actually states that they can be caught and released on the property where they were trapped, which doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
So are you poisoning the food, or are you putting the animal down later?
If it's a rural area, the animal can be put down on the property. Otherwise, my license basically covers to be able to transport the animal to a facility.
Pet Solutions.
He traps them. We have solutions.
And then Ted opened his restaurant called Exotic, but don't ask. Have you ever set up a trap and caught something other than what you were trying to get? Like years ago, Miles had this mouse kept pooping on his counter.
I did.
So he got a glue trap. Now, eventually the mouse was caught, but before that, remember, it's like spiders, silverfish.
You name it.
Everything else that also lived in the house got stuck on this thing, but there was no mouse.
It was all based on the Cheeto. They love the Cheeto, I found.
Oh, yeah.
Not real cheese, Cheeto.
I've caught a fair amount of other people's cats is the main thing. I've only caught one little... I think maybe Dr. Gomez got in one of those raccoon traps. Well, no, I'm just...
You'd have known he'd have eaten you alive.
Yeah, mainly cats. I've caught a couple small dogs in big cage traps, but
what do you do if you get someone's cat? All right, so say there's no collar on it, or there's no way for you to figure out exactly who the owner is. I mean, do you just let it out and hope it finds its way home?
Oh yeah, and it's kind of funny when you open up the trap. They'll even do an instant U-turn. So they know where they're going and how to get back. And they are. Obviously, cats are fast, but it's impressive when you open that door. They'll run and hit a fence and go right up and over whatever they're doing. But
I probably would too, man. To be fair,
yeah. Do you ever see they come to the cage next day and there's a happy dog in there wagging its tail? You're like, hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, some of the couple dogs I caught were fine in there. They were pretty happy. Even some of the cats are fine. I mean, they get a full meal. So when I'm going after raccoons, the best bait, at least one of my favorite baits, is cat food. So when you catch a cat, I'm sure he's not doing too bad.
So just dry cat food or wet? You put a can in there?
I do dry cat food. I think it's Frisky Surf and Turf, baby.
All right, there you go. It's definitely cheaper.
Now we know the Frisky Surf and Turf.
Yeah, don't have a cat door with that.
I would order that.
I was going to say, it actually sounds good.
Okay.
If I had to eat cat food, maybe I'd go surf and turf.
Well, I mean, at a restaurant, so we got surf and turf, or the Frisky Surf and Turf.
And I believe we got the phones back in working order after that one.
So far, yeah.
Good news. Our question, what was the animal or animals that caused the problem? 206-803-ROCK.
Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How did you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just go to their website.
Go to unlock.com/radio to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Go to unlock.com/radio right now to see if you qualify to unlock the value in your home. That's unlock.com/radio. Go to unlock.com/radio.
Getting help for mental health shouldn't be as hard as it is. Thankfully, Mindful Therapy Group is here to make your mental health journey as painless as possible. Be seen in as little as 48 hours for in-person or telehealth appointments. Mindful partners with thousands of licensed clinicians to find the perfect fit for you. Whether you need talk therapy, psychological testing, even medication management, Mindful has you covered. Mindful Therapy Group also accepts insurance, so you can focus on you and not your wallet. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com to get started today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday beauty gifts, like hair care, makeup, and skincare. You'll have money left over to get your bro the big bottle of cologne. Just remind him one spritz is enough. Or waterproof mascara resilient enough for watching the holiday classics. I love this part. Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Amazon fall favorites are here to make you say, woo! With low prices on home, beauty, and fashion brands like Amazon Essentials. So hold on to your pumpkin spiced whatevers and save on fall favorites at Amazon.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
What was the animal or animals that caused the problem? 206-803-ROCK.
We were talking about crows earlier. A lot of people chiming in on this. And as far as you give them gifts, they bring you gifts. Someone here says, I'm part of an online crow group where we share what our crows have gifted us. One person had a crow literally leave them a loose diamond. Jesus. A loose, again, it doesn't mean anything to them. And they're like, I don't know, you two-legged freaks like this crap, so I hope you can use it.
Okay.
Not bad. So,
all right, I need a crow friend.
We got earbuds, we got diamonds. We get Keith, man, crows are where it's at. I want to go to a crow lost and found.
Typically, I've got nuts. I can feed them some nuts.
Unsalted. People they're like, look, dude, unsalted.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. So James, the first guy that we tried to talk to today, our phone system is what it is. Anyway, he texted in. It says, James here. I had a ferret when I was younger. I woke up one day and a huge cage was in our living room with what I thought was a long rat inside. It kind of is. We ended up naming it Chompy, and it got up into my chest once. He knocked over a Monster energy drink, drank all of it, went crazy for a few hours. During that time, he got up on me and bit my nose, basically attaching himself to my face. And then I started going crazy. He stayed on my face for about 2 minutes before letting go and running around even more. Not fun. P.S. My dad says, tell Ted what to do.
I like that.
Yeah. Hello, Hannah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
So this happened a couple weeks ago. I have a 17-year-old Chihuahua who I love very dearly. And I had been out of town for a birthday trip. This was on my birthday. I get home, and I'm, like, taking the inventory of everything. And I noticed that it looks like there's, like, puddles of ketchup on the floor. And I was like, oh, that's strange. And then I realized it's not ketchup. It's bloody diarrhea from my 5-pound, 17-year-old Chihuahua. And I started losing my mind. I was so hysterical. I thought my brain was going to melt out of my ears. But so I rushed her to the vet. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, were you worried about the dog, your brain's melting, or just the idea of bloody diarrhea was freaking you out?
I'm a nurse, so I was thinking in human terms. And if a human was having bloody diarrhea, they would want to do a colonoscopy or an endoscopy to try to figure out where the bleed is coming from. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking they're going to try to do a dog version of a colonoscopy on my Chihuahua. She's not going to live through that, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to put her down on my birthday.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I rushed her to the vet, and the ER vet was like, actually, we see this all the time. Twice a day is what they said. And I was like, that's terrifying. What? How have I not heard of this? But they tested her kidneys, and turns out her kidneys were failing. So we've been doing sub-Q fluids for a little while now. But she's fine.
Okay.
She's fine now. I'm with her at the vet. But I'm literally bawling my eyes out at the vet. And I've still got my happy birthday pin on my shirt with my 17-year-old Chihuahua.
Happy birthday. Yeah. How much did that birthday cost you in that visit?
Just about $1,000.
Oh, just about $1,000.
Okay, look, I'm not trying to sound mean here. You know, look, we love our pets. I get it, right? $1,000. I just feel like if it's me, okay, my dog is 17. So, like in human years, you are 174 years old.
It's like a Jimmy Carter of dogs.
You know, yeah, it's the Jimmy Carter of dogs. And the doctor says, look, there's a lot of things we can do. I mean, honest to God, I'm like, what's cheapest? I mean, this is how much longer do you think this dog has? Legitimately.
So that's what I was thinking too. And you know, working in healthcare, we try to weigh out quality of life with that as well.
Yeah.
But at first they were saying like the prognosis wasn't good, and so we were thinking, okay, time to put her down. We'll get that scheduled. But then they said try the fluids for a week and see how she's doing, because if she just happens to have this infection that's causing her kidneys to fail or whatever, then a little bit of antibiotics, a little bit of fluids every once in a while, and she should be fine. And other than that, she's totally healthy. So we did the fluids for a week, and she's been fine. So her values all came back down. But I'm with you. Like I honestly, if it hadn't been my birthday, I might have made a different decision. But the thought of losing a dog, I like watched her be born when I was 12.
Well, so you've had her for all 17 years?
Yes, yeah. And like she's lived with me in 5 different states, and you know, like I'm really bonded to her.
Yeah, obviously.
So I think I would have paid a lot just to postpone it even a single day.
So is today like your 30th birthday?
It was on my 30th birthday. Yeah.
Jesus, that's bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just saying.
Oh,
like,
thank you, Ted.
It's one thing to it's one thing to be a birthday, but a
that's
30th
huge.
is like big.
I am going to party tonight after I deal with bloody stools. So
Yeah, literally. And my birthday was a Monday, and I had just come back from such a great trip with my friends. We were in San Diego. It was TwitchCon and all this stuff. It was literally the best. And then, you know, it all came crashing down real fast.
Did you blame the dog watcher?
No, the dog watcher was my husband. And
you should have got more blame.
No, he said that she'd been fine, and like he had just come to pick me up from the airport. So the time that she was gone was maybe an hour or two because we went to dinner. And in that time is when this all had transpired. So
look, I'm married. I would say the same thing to my wife. Hey, baby, she was fine when I came to get you.
Yeah.
This must have just happened right now.
That dead fish?
I would say I would agree with you, except my partner loves this dog probably more than he loves me.
Okay, is your dog super protective? Because Chihuahuas seem to be protective in general, right? That's just kind of what they're known for. But after 17 years, if you invited me into your home and I walked in, is this thing growling at me the whole time?
No, not at all. She really doesn't make much noise at all. We kind of joke that she's more of a stuffed animal than anything. She's got a couple heated dog beds that she likes to lay on, and she just wants to cuddle with you.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We took her out to Gaswork Parks a couple years ago, and she was just standing on the blanket, wagging her tail at every shadow that walked by because she was just excited to be around people, and people think she's cute and really soft, so they love petting her.
Nice. Okay.
She's a sweet little girl.
Right. You just don't normally hear that with Chihuahuas.
No, you don't.
They're kind of angry little dogs, from my experience.
They're angry all the time, and it sounds bad, but I've known 2 or 3 people in my life, really, that have had Chihuahuas, and you go to their house, and wherever you're at, like the dog's staring you down, and they do that little growl thing that they do. Yeah. I know they're being mean, and I'm sure if it bit me, it'll hurt. It cracks me up. Like, if a Chihuahua growls at me, I always laugh, and I don't mean to. I just can't help it. Like, bro, just dial it back.
It's also tough because, especially for kids, but even for adults, it just looks like a cute little toy.
It does, and they're not.
And it's all angry and shaky.
What was the animal or animals that caused the problem? 206-803-ROCKETS. Well, I always have a sweater on it.
Yeah. Basically, it's like a tiny little meth head.
Mm-hmm. It kind of is, man. Always aggressive, always jittery.
Yeah.
And no one knows
Only
exactly
trust
why.
like 2 people.
Yeah, and that's it.
Violent mood swings. Smokes menthols.
Even when you dress them up, they don't have sleeves.
Right.
Hello, Bo. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, so my dog, I had him for about a month. My wife picked him out. His name was Rex. And I was out at my in-laws dropping off a lawnmower for him. So I just let him run around. He didn't know his name yet. He ran off, and I'm looking for him when I start the lawnmower so I don't run him over. And I look out, and there he is. He's playing with 2 baby deer.
Oh, no kidding.
And go ahead.
Oh, no, that's cool.
Yeah, so he's playing with these baby deer, and I'm like, oh crap. So baby deer means mama deer. And mama deer means angry. So I'm looking around, and I see the mom, and Rex is in between the deer, and here's mom stalking him. And I'm like, I've had this dog for a month. My wife is going to kill me if I let him get killed. So I go over there. I'm waving my arms. I'm yelling at her, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Nothing's happening. And I run over there. I put my right arm up to cover my head. I grab the dog. I throw him back with my left arm. And as I'm throwing him back, I just swing and I punch the deer in the gut.
Oh.
I swing my right arm and I punch the deer in the head. And the whole time the deer's kicking me, I got hit in the head. I got scratched down my back. My shirt ripped. And then it just all ran away. And I was like, what the F was that all about?
Yeah. That's an interesting way. I mean, you're trying to do a good thing. You're bringing a lawnmower to the in-laws. Right. Next thing you know, you're in a fight with a doe.
Now, does your wife give you grief about what happened to your shirt? Why are you all bloody?
No. I called her right away, and I said, hey, I just fought a deer. I got to come over and see if I'm okay.
Okay.
I was at work, and she just goes, what? And I just hung up, came over, and she's like, yeah, you got a big, like, scratch down your back, shirt ripped, hitting the head a couple times. She just laughed. And
what is your dog doing the entire time that you're fighting this deer? Or you're just holding your dog the whole time?
I reached down, I just grabbed him by the scruff of the neck, and I just threw him back as far as I could.
See, I've never had that encounter before.
Fight a deer?
There are tons of fawns where I grew up, and they would come in the yard, and you just go up to them, and you pet them, and the mom just sits there and looks, and, half the time the mom will come over and smell your hand, and they just move along.
All right.
Yeah,
one time we had a family.
I wouldn't mess with a buck. But.
No, it was weird. It was 4 deer. It was at our the back door of our house, but the glass door was open. The screen was closed. Not that they couldn't just walk through it, but they kind of stopped at that little threshold, and I was sleeping on the sofa bed in the living room. My cousin, he was like 3 years old. I'm about 11. He had never been in the woods or anything like that, and I wake up, and I'm like, Sam, wake up, man. Look, he'd never seen deer in his life. I had never seen them that close. And I'm like, they're just staring in. The buck's there, too. And Sam pops his head up, and his eyes kind of brighten up. And this is the second time he asked this question. First time he asked when my mom showed him a squirrel. He looks at this family of deer, and I'm kind of amazed. Like, this is cool, man. Sam looks at me, and this little high-pitched little boy voice goes, can I kill him? Like, no. Jesus, man.
Can I kill him?
That's the only question. The first time he saw
How did he end up in life?
Dude, he is one of the nicest, calmest people.
That's a red flag as a parent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but he grew up like in the projects in Houston, and so we gave him a summer away until his mom could kind of figure some stuff out, right? I didn't know all that then. I know it now. So he spent the summer with us, but when we first got to our place, we're out in the middle of a cut, man, and obviously there's squirrels everywhere. Apparently there are no squirrels in Houston, but there's squirrels everywhere. And my mom, this is the first time he asked, she's like, Sam, come here. Look at the little squirrel. And the squirrel doing what squirrels do. He's got something in his hand. He's just nibbling it all fast. Once again, like a crackhead, right? Sam looks at, can I kill him? My mother, no, Sam, no.
And also maybe the mom wasn't great. He watched so much TV, he just assumes if you see an animal, you can
kill everything.
That's right.
Everything. Every animal we pointed out, hey, man, there's a fox over there. You can't kill him. And then they had nothing to say because we would just cut them off at the path.
Well, I had a buddy, it's popular now, but it used to be me and one of our listeners knew this town, but Butler, PA.
Okay.
They lived on the outskirts of Butler, which is pretty rural. So one morning we're sitting there, and his dad just is, he's a PA guy, hunts, fish.
Sure.
And there's massive turkeys, but they're only like 100 yards out there. It's the same thing. I was like, Mr. Adams, like, can we get him? And he's like, no. He's like, 200 yards down the way is where you could start legally hunting. He goes, these turkeys are just smart, and they know they can come in my backyard. Basically, we can't do anything.
For real?
Yeah.
So you go 200 yards, and then it's open season. But
he was like, there's some trail or something. He's like, every morning they're out there because they could just kind of graze or whatever turkeys do in the wild.
Yeah. Have you ever had a wild turkey? Have you ever eaten one?
So that same guy, he had a hunting camp up by Canada, and we went up there once, and we were eating turkey, and he's like, I shot it this morning. And I was like, awesome. And he was like, also, be careful, there might still be some BBs.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's the same dude. His dad's just like a man's man.
Mm-hmm.
But same thing. I said, I've never shot a weapon. And he goes, you never shot a weapon? I said, no. And he goes, put down your forks. And we went out back of the hunting cabin. He had some skeet, and we threw him up in the air and shot him with a shotgun.
Yeah. Is that when you hit it like on the first shot or something?
But he was just like, he just wasn't going to stand for that.
No. Put that fork down right now. There's time to eat.
But he grew up in upstate PA, right? Like, I grew up in the D.C. area. Like, it was a massive deal. Like, I don't know how D.C. is now, but, like, you could not have a firearm.
You could not do skeet shooting.
But there was always signs and everything, like, surrender your weapons. It was, I'm sure it's less strict now, but, like, I don't think you can have, like, a concealed permit. You can't open carry, any of that stuff.
What was the animal or animals that caused the problem? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Alex. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so my brother and I got home from work one day, and the house smelled like a hot, wet dog, like a dog in a sauna. And so we're checking our heat sources and realize it's coming from the vents. So luckily I'm a furnace guy, and I go to the attic, find my furnace, and checking it out. And I know it's on the heat exchanger because it's in the airflow. So I got to unscrew the ductwork, and I go to pull the furnace towards me to look down in on the heat exchanger, and a snake pops out at me in striking position. I about fall backwards through the roof, or through the ceiling, rather. And then I realized it's my roommate's 3-foot ball python had somehow got out of its cage, crawled into the heat exchanger, got smoked, turned to rubber, and scared the heck out of me.
So he was the snake had died.
Yeah, it was smoked and it was rubberized, and I thought it was striking, but it was actually trying to slither off the heat exchanger when it fired up and just turned to rubber, and it looked like it was screaming now that I realized what was happening.
Oh, God. How long had the snake been missing?
I don't know. A couple weeks probably. Yes.
I mean, again,
about it.
That's kind of my issue with snakes. My brother's friends, they moved into a house in College Park that notoriously had always just rented to college students.
Yeah, of course.
And same thing, when they moved in, I was a teenager, so I liked to hang out with them. You could maybe sip a beer, but I wouldn't go there because my brother was like, hey, they lost their snake like a month ago. Anyhow, fall hits, you got to clean out the gutter. Somehow the snake ended up in the gutter. It was dead, but it was just in the gutter.
People do lose snakes a lot. I just watched somebody's snake for a week. They went on vacation. The chick I'm dating at the time, she's all about it. I'm completely indifferent, but it brought her with a big-ass terrarium. But there's weights on top, and he made it a point.
Like a brick or something like that.
Yeah, just make sure, you keep the weight on top, man, because it's like they're just a muscle. I mean, they are strong, man. So we did. It was fine. It was, so the one thing, he's like, look, we're going to feed it before I go. Like, cool. So he gets the mice from whatever, pet store, whatever. You drop it in there. We're waiting for this real quick strike kind of thing. You drop the mouse in there. The snake obviously focuses its attention on the mouse. And I don't know if this snake was like trying to mind F the mouse. The mouse recognizes this is a snake. I don't want to be here. The person's trying to scratch out, realizes it can't get out. So now they're facing each other. It was like 12 minutes. Whoa. I mean, this mouse is just shaking in its boots on this rock. And this snake, then straight's just staring him down. Damn. And then finally just pow.
Maybe it just looked that good. Sometimes I stare at a steak before I eat it.
Maybe that's what it was. Like, ooh, you are a big, tasty, juicy son of a bitch.
Your chance to win Disturb tickets coming up. We'll give you the code word at 420. Then text that to 206-8.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Getting help for mental health shouldn't be as hard as it is. Thankfully, Mindful Therapy Group is here to make your mental health journey as painless as possible. Be seen in as little as 48 hours for in-person or telehealth appointments. Mindful partners with thousands of licensed clinicians to find the perfect fit for you. Whether you need talk therapy, psychological testing, even medication management, Mindful has you covered. Mindful Therapy Group also accepts insurance, so you can focus on you and not your wallet. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com to get started today.
Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How did you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just go to their website.
Go to unlock.com/radio to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Go to unlock.com/radio right now to see if you qualify to unlock the value in your home. That's unlock.com/radio. Go to unlock.com/radio.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Amazon fall favorites are here to make you say, with low prices on home, beauty, and fashion brands like Amazon Essentials. So hold on to your pumpkin spiced whatevers and save on fall favorites at Amazon.
803 Rock.
99.9 KISW. The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming up, we'll sit and spin. And today we get 10 albums that were banned by Walmart.
Which I still can't wrap my head around.
For whatever reason, sometimes it's the cover art. Oftentimes it's a song title or the lyrics within. Some bands say, we'll change it. Other bands say, F you.
But if you walk into Walmart and fishnet stockings, high heels, and G-strings, and boobs hanging out, that's cool.
So we'll play the tune and the album and see if you can figure out why Walmart said, yeah, we don't want this on our shelves. That's coming up right after emails on our question, what was the animal or animals that caused the problem? 206-803-ROCK.
Before we get back to the calls, one very quick text here. It says, quick and simple story. My uncle's dog ripped my dog's face off because he wanted my dog's food. The vet was able to reattach her face, but yeah. Damn, that's a bit much. Hello, Dane. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, guys.
Hola.
So, yeah, I got a funny one for you. When I was younger, I think I was either 13 or 16, I had to outrun an elephant for my life because it was going to trample me to death.
Well, you definitely had to outrun it for your life. I'm assuming you were somewhere in Africa?
Yes, that'd be correct. I was in Mozambique, I believe. And essentially, during the middle of the day, most animals kind of go to sleep. It's hot out there, so they kind of sleep during mid-afternoon. And so as we're going around looking for different animals, we all stop and take our nap at the same time as the animals do. So we're all rested up against a tree on this little hill. And so it's me and my dad and a professional hunter, and they fall asleep instantaneously. I can't fall asleep because there's ants crawling all over me. And so I finally just jump up and try to brush these ants off, and I look behind this little hill, and I scared this elephant that happened to be 20 yards away from me. And so I instantaneously woke up my dad and the guide and got them running. We ran probably about 50 yards to the back of the pickup truck, jumped in the back of the pickup truck, and the trackers just hauled to get out of there because we were being chased by an elephant.
How long did it give chase?
Oh, this is not the news I need.
How long was what?
How long did it give chase after you take off in the truck? I'm sure it still kept coming for a little while, right?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, after we got in the truck and, jumped in the back of the pickup truck, it probably chased us for a good 50, 100 yards or so before it realized that we were moving too fast.
And how fast, based on your best estimate, how many miles an hour do you think this thing's running?
Actually, not that fast, but I'd probably like 17 miles an hour.
Okay, faster than you. That's the only issue. Like, look, if it can outrun you, even if it's slow, that's a problem. Well, look, Miles is going on safari in just a couple of months. What advice would you give Miles?
Don't stay out late at night. I've been hunted by a lion twice, and don't make an elephant angry.
By what? Just getting up and brushing ants off my legs? That pisses him off? I think that's a fair thing to do if I'm covered in ants.
Miles, are you on like overnight safari?
Yes.
How long? How many days is this thing?
I don't know. 5 or 6, 7, something. I don't know.
What do you? And sir, you've been hunted by these lions. What do you mean? Don't go out at night? Like he needs to stay in his tent?
We were in like that cabin.
All right. What if a bar is a 1/4 of a mile walk away? Is it worth the walk? Would you risk your life?
All right, Dane, let me ask you this. Say you're, instead of being in like a hut, you're in a canvas tent. Do you feel safe at all at night?
Kinda.
Really? Why? What is it about a canvas tent that would prevent a lion if it decided to want to get in there? What's the thing that stops it?
Really nothing, but at least you don't have mosquitoes crawling over you.
All right. I was also told that I need to wear everything that looks like the environment. So there's a reason that people don't wear like bright red shirts or anything like that. You got to dress like sand. So apparently I need to be head to toe in khaki. Is that correct?
It really doesn't matter.
You don't think so? Okay.
All right, just one more question. What if somebody was having like a cigarette? Would that attract or deter a lion?
Once again, I've just been there on safari myself. I'm not a lion specialist. I don't think it would do either, but that's just my opinion. I think if anything, it'd probably deter them because it's like, well, that sounds gross.
All right. Yeah.
Also, just like women.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
We're just taking Miles' risk factors into account.
Right.
Yeah, so what are you going to do? Because, look.
What if I start
You're
smoking
not
some weed?
going to know, all right? Mm-hmm. You don't know. Like, we're both smokers. I get it. Then you're like, look, man, I've been trying. I'm Nick fitting. It's midnight. I can't fall asleep. I really, really, really want a cigarette. Would you unzip the tent and give yourself, all right, just 5 minutes. Keep in mind, you're right outside of the tent.
Yeah,
right? You're not wandering away. You're going to go for it.
I mean, what if I got to poop?
What do you do if you have to poop? I'm in a tent.
I'm more worried about that. I'm more worried about being eaten alive while I'm taking a crap.
Because I think pooping would attract them.
Are you staying in cabins or those tents?
I don't know yet. Depends on what the night and where we are.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. I feel like I would have, yeah.
We are in the waning days of this show. Miles is not coming back from Africa.
It took a dump, and he was attacked by, dragged off into the woods, man.
I think it's a double.
And they ate his
life taking a dump.
They ate his poop, too.
I mean, that's a double-edged sword, right? Because you might wake up in the middle of the night and be like, screw it, I'm going to sneak in a cig. Then it's like, oh, crap, I got a crap.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's a natural trigger.
Look, if you guys woke up and I'm smoking in the tent, you'd be irritated, but I think we could all understand.
Sure.
If I woke up and you're pooping in the tent, like, bro, at this point, you got to take your life in your hands. You cannot poop in this tent with me in the tent.
I'm going out there with a 5-gallon bucket from Home Depot and a pool noodle. I'm doing it right. I'm relaxing.
Do they give you a weapon?
No, most of them are not going to give you a weapon.
The pool noodle probably is what I got.
I don't know, man. I feel like you go on safari, like slide me a 45.
Hey, man, I told you the one I read, this lady, I think it was a 3-day safari, whatever it was, but it was a walking safari. And her guide, who she said was very knowledgeable, but she noticed he does not have a weapon. He has a stick. But she goes, as best I can tell, I don't know what a stick will protect you from on an African safari. There's elephants, there's rhinos, like the stick doesn't do anything. And one thing, Miles, and I just want to know if this is true. She just said, look, during the day, to his point, most of the animals are sleeping, right? So you see gazelles and zebras, they're doing their thing because most of the predators are asleep. But she said at night, you hear these lions roaring, you can hear hyenas, and they're doing whatever animals do, but then every once in a while, you just hear that final blood-curdling scream of some animal getting ripped to shreds. And she's like, but the thing is, the guide was like, all right, it's whatever time. This is time to get shut-eye. Like, his ass was out, Didn't matter. And she's like, man, I can't sleep hearing animals being ripped apart.
The locals are just going to hear nothing but Miles screaming, Jesus Christ!
And they won't even notice. It's like if you live next to a subway, like, you don't hear it anymore, but people come to visit you, and you're like, God, man, that train's so loud. So I think the guide's like, yeah, I mean, sure, lions are killing things, dude, but it's white noise. And you just sleep through it. Man, I'm going to serenade them or something. I'll figure it out. If you make it back. You're going to be tired.
What was the animals that caused the problem? 206-803-ROCK.
Miles' last words were him screaming, Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata.
I came because I missed the rain. Stop it. Lion's mouth.
I know Simba.
Look, Simba was a bitch.
He goes out fighting.
James Earl Jones is dead.
Don't give him that news.
Yeah, no.
I do like the idea of the lion, like two lions surrounding you, and you're just like, all right, hang on. Let me light up one before you eat me.
Just let me finish this.
You go first.
Detroit's never won a Super Bowl, Lions.
Don't tell them that.
No.
Well, if they're going to eat them anyhow, you might as well give them some business.
I think maybe if you tell them good news.
I'm not going to piss them off.
It's a little different.
Dan Campbell's a bitch. I'd be more afraid of Dan Campbell than a lion.
No kidding.
First round eliminated.
That's right.
Yeah, well, that's why you don't walk around his neighborhood at night. You might get hunted by a Dan Campbell.
Man, that guy had to move because of those idiot fans.
I know. That's brutal.
Right, it wasn't even the fans. It turns out that it was
one of his kids' friends at school or associates.
Was it a friend or someone who knew? I can't imagine my friend calling the SWAT team to my house under some false pretense.
What was the animal or animals that caused the problem? 206-803-ROCK.
You're also not a teenager.
That's a good point. By the way, Miles, someone checked in. They usually make fires at the safari camps at night, just smoke by the fire.
Smoke by the fire.
And all the tents usually have a shower and a bathroom inside, so you usually don't have to worry about getting caught with your pants down. What about masturbating?
All right, look, I got a line.
That'd be the worst.
I got a line.
They ripped my penis off.
I might jump in the fire.
If there's a line, man.
Come get me.
I just feel like on safari, man, I would rather have like a ring of fire and we sit in the middle. You know what I mean? As opposed to, because there's a fire, but we're in a ring around it. So there's no real deterrent for the animal. Like, you're not in the fire, homeboy.
The thing is, you can't
to
sit facing the fire. You got to sit with your back to it. Look around.
Yeah.
That's a weird way to sit at a fire. I've never done reverse sitting in a fire.
I think you'll be down with
I've done it before as it was cold and I wanted to warm up my butt.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's it.
Momentarily. The whole time, I'm saying.
Oh, I'm doing it the whole time. The whole time. Hello, Gary. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, brother.
Hola.
All right. You guys are great, man.
No, thank you.
Yeah. They usually have guards out, by the way, in case you... I've been there, done that. It's interesting.
Okay. Any of the guards ever get taken out?
Not while I was there.
Okay.
All right, my story involves back in the Philippines when I was in the Navy. I lived on base housing. We, of course, had jungles around us. We were like, where I lived was like on the perimeter of the jungle. I had a 3-year-old daughter who was just becoming a biker, running around in her diapers all the time. So I'm sitting, I had a sliding back door, I'm looking out, and I see my daughter running, like, waddling like little kids do with her arms out. There's a 3-foot monitor lizard. Right there.
That was chasing her?
No, she was chasing him.
Oh, okay, all right.
Childhood.
Come here, kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So I about crap myself, jumped up, almost ran through the window, had the sliding door get it open, and grab her and whip back around. We had culvert in the back. If the critter got her, he would have drug her into that culvert. I've never seen that little girl again.
Okay. God, I hope we're not having that phone issue again. You're clipping on us really bad.
The phone, they're getting crazy again. By the way, Miles, someone texted and say, Simba, you can say, hey, Simba, right? Simba just means lion in Swahili, so they weren't very original with the name.
Jesus.
So if you're singing and screaming like Simba to the lion, you're like, why do you keep calling my name, bitch?
But we are also getting a couple texts where Miles can officially test his theory.
The laser pointer.
The laser pointer.
I'm bringing one.
I would.
You think I'm kidding? I am. I'm bringing an out and a cat toy.
Look, man, if they
like
make
a bunch of catnip to pour
yes,
on the
absolutely.
fire.
Hey, man, that's why I'm worried about smoking weed.
Look,
I smoked some weed, man. I got 25 cats just looking at me from the bushes, going like, he's got the stuff.
I think I'd be more afraid just trying to score weed or having weed on me in some of those countries.
I feel like if I'm on safari, like, really, brother, you can worry about weed. There are lions.
You think somebody's going to walk out in the bush, walk past the lion, I got to arrest you.
No, but you're going to have to be at a... I don't know, man. I would just check the rules.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what the rules are.
I know the rules. We're not talking about the rules.
If you go on safari, so nothing bad happens, but you get arrested in some random African country.
Right.
That's worse.
And they put you in a cage with a lion.
Yeah, I find out someone else in that group got eaten in a tent the next night.
But thank God.
I'm glad I'm in here.
Get eaten by a lion. That's tough. Tell the story.
It's not tough. It is not tough, because here's the thing. People that get messed up by lions, no one has ever said, man, and it was a good fight.
No, I'm just saying that's a better story than like,
you know what I'm doing?
We're going to be off for 2 weeks because Miles is doing 5 days in Mozambique.
Yeah, but at least when he gets out, and look, you'll be a little shell-shocked. You'll have had sex with strange black men, but still, at least you get to tell the story. If I say Miles was eaten by a lion, that's all we know.
Here's my theory, all right? I'm gonna reverse his ass real quick, right? And I'm gonna get on his back, and I'm gonna just pull the nape of his neck with both my hands.
This is your plan.
As hard
the
as I
cop
can.
or the lion?
The lion.
You're going to scruff the doggone lion?
Yeah, because all cats essentially are the same creatures other than their size.
Right.
So if I get that mother by the nape of the neck, he says, that's my mom. See?
I think he says, this bitch better get off me before I make a real
His mom is not a bitch.
And those are the last words Miles said.
Just a theory. And then I'm going to dangle that little thing on a stick, you know what I mean, and see if he goes for it. What was the animals that caused the problem? 206-803.
Got a little bell on it.
Yeah, sure. One of those little mice, you know. They love those.
You have anything to declare a massive ball of yarn?
Got that and a laser pointer.
Yes, and a laser pointer.
We're on safari.
And frisky surf and turf. I have it on good authority. Ooh.
Might bring some cat trees.
Brother, if you opened up a bag of cat trees, everything in the jungle shows up. That is your
some
ass.
salmon snacks. Some salmon.
You want a squishy packet?
Dried salmon.
Great idea.
That feels good.
Leave me alone.
That's right.
Hello, Justin. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
And Miles, bring the catnip temptations. My cat goes crazy for that stuff.
Okay. Good call.
Yeah, let's have the line just going buck wild.
Because now, let's attract them.
With drugs.
And make them crazy.
So I got two quick ones for you. One, I got defecated on by a snake, and the other one, a raccoon, almost made me crash my car.
You got defecated on by a snake?
Yeah. Yeah. So it was my buddy's snake that he was. It was technically the school that he was watching, and he was like, "Want to hold it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Well, apparently when a snake is comfortable on you, it just releases everything. Crap, all
I do the same thing. That's why me and my wife got along.
Justin, no kidding, dude. The same thing happened to me in my science class in like 9th grade.
The snake?
Yeah, they had these little corn snakes with these little, the little itty bitty ones, and I just held one and he just pooped all over my hand.
They like it warm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was like, it just got warm on my lap all of a sudden. This is fantastic. Yeah, no, that was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Well, how did the raccoon almost make you crash the car? That's why I don't let them drive.
Okay, so this was actually the first couple of days of lockdown and essential worker, right? So I-5 was perfectly freaking clear up in Bellingham. So I'm just cruising along, having a good time. All of a sudden, this big old raccoon pops out right in front of Sunset, and I'm like, "What the hell?" Slammed my brakes because it stopped and looked at me. And I almost hit the side Jersey barrier, but then I stopped right in time. But turns out it was a mama raccoon that let 6 other baby raccoons across I-5, and then hopped over the barrier herself.
They do that. They wait for their young. They're very family oriented.
I was like, well, this is great.
Yeah,
I'm really happy that I stopped for the mama raccoon, or else I would have murdered the whole family, just like Miles and the lawnmower.
That's right.
It's mild. That sounds like a kid's story that you read to scare
You got to
them.
remember, that was an accident. Yeah,
that was a good point. So you say.
Well, the quail's a kid. That was an accident, too.
Well, sure, but you're driving a car. You couldn't stop.
I was going 65 miles an hour. I was whatever the speed limit is. I was going that.
By the way, Miles, no, you weren't. Someone on the text line says, I was detained at the South African-Botswana border. It freaked me out. I was released after about 30 minutes, but they end it with, don't get arrested in Africa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Jason. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Great, man.
So for Miles, actually, my parents just got back from a 3-week safari. Oh my God. I haven't heard from them yet, so I don't know if they've got eaten.
That's comforting as hell, buddy. Thank you. They're probably in a rainforest. Probably in a rainforest cafe doing what you do in Africa. They're fine.
I hope so.
I think they're called scat now.
I own a petting zoo out in Yelm called the Healing Farm. I got a whole bunch of different animals, but I'll tell you the craziest thing so far. So one time we had this goat, and he would not stay put wherever he was. So I put him in the barn, and this guy jumped through a window, breaking it completely just to get out. And at that point, I thought I'd seen it all. But then winter comes by. I get home from work once, and I got an alpaca, and it's frozen upright in the pond dead.
Oh, God.
It's frozen in the pond dead?
Yeah, I have no clue what happened. I just came home from work, and I didn't see it, so I walked around my property, and it was just frozen in the pond.
Standing up?
Standing up, yeah. Yeah, it was
Was there ice in the pond?
Yeah, it was completely frozen, so I don't know how it got in there, and I don't know how it froze standing up.
Damn.
You have a frozen alpaca standing up in the middle of a pond, and it's frozen.
So, and it's in the middle, and this thing's 5 feet deep, and I'm going, what the heck am I going to do now? So I end up
make socks
and dragging myself in there and pulling this thing out.
How does one acquire animals for their petting zoo?
You make a lot of phone calls, and then eventually you're in this inner circle.
Okay.
I have some wallabies, too, and capybaras. Hey, man. And
that's one of my daughter's favorite animals are freaking capybaras.
Well, I got him, man. But our little wallaby, he's like 3 feet tall, and he will tear you up. Like, we got to put him away when people come visit.
Why, he'll punch you?
Oh, yeah, he punches, he kicks. He kicked me once, and I had a gash from my thigh down to my foot.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is that because his claws are so sharp?
Yeah, I started trimming them now.
So you pick up the koala leg and you actually cut this guy's nails?
Yeah, he does pretty good.
You ever feed him a bloomin' onion?
I got it, Miles. No, but he might like it.
All right.
I bet you he would.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Then he'd have diarrhea.
Try that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never talked to anyone who owned a petting zoo. Frozen alpacas, a wallaby that, hey, don't pet it because it might kill you. I don't know if I want to go, but the capybaras, it's all my daughter cares about.
Look out.
Yeah, capybaras.
I mean, the guy was very nice. He sounded very nice.
Yes, he certainly did.
Wild petting zoo in Yelm. Just sounds odd.
Coming up, we've got 10 albums that were banned by Walmart as we will sit and spin. And we got your emails on our question coming up next in the men's room at KISW.com.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Getting help for mental health shouldn't be as hard as it is. Thankfully, Mindful Therapy Group is here to make your mental health journey as painless as possible. Be seen in as little as 48 hours for in-person or telehealth appointments. Mindful partners with thousands of licensed clinicians to find the perfect fit for you. Whether you need talk therapy, psychological testing, even medication management, Mindful has you covered. Mindful Therapy Group also accepts insurance, so you can focus on you and not your wallet. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com to get started today.
Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How did you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just go to their website.
Go to unlock.com/radio to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Go to unlock.com/radio right now to see if you qualify to unlock the value in your home. That's unlock.com/radio. Go to unlock.com/radio.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Amazon fall favorites are here to make you say, with low prices on home, beauty, and fashion brands like Amazon Essentials. So hold on to your pumpkin spiced whatevers and save on fall favorites at Amazon.
We know what they really want this holiday. The perfect pleasure present from Lovers. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and grab something to satisfy yourself, too. Lovers has all the toys and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for the hottest holiday gifting. Mention presents for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday fashion gifts, like cozy fits and stylish shirts. You'll have money left over for those aviators that make you feel like a maverick. Or that ugly holiday sweater that's like really ugly.
OMG, that's like really ugly.
Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Are you a bartender that dreads the phrase, "Hey, can you put the game on?" At Sports on What, we understand your pain and we're here to help. Over-the-air, satellite, cable, or streaming, Sports on What knows what channel the game is on, and you can too. Follow your favorite teams, set alerts, and filter by provider to get the results you need. Stop wasting time searching and never miss kickoff again. Just download the Sports on What app, and you'll always know how to watch the game. Available for Android and iOS. Start your 7-day free trial when you download Sports on What and subscribe today.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
How'd you like to see Disturbed at Climate Pledge Arena May 5th, 2025? Might as well get those tickets right now. Text the word DOWN, DOWN, to 206-803-ROCK. That's how you qualify to win tickets to see Disturbed at Climate Pledge Arena. Okay, our question, what was the animals that caused the problem? And here come those emails from the men's room at KISW.com. And one from our question, howdy, brethren. While out on the family farm in Illinois, I was 14 years old. Day to make the bull a steer. How that works is you get the bull into the pen, hook an actual nose ring clip to the nostrils, and hoist his head up, and then tie off the rope. On the backside, grab his tail, lift it straight over his spine, while Uncle Bud took a flat blade and found the vas deferens on the bull's boys and clamped down as hard as he can, severing the reproductive gland, so to speak. I didn't even get his tail up and over the right way, and that cow just dumped all its bowels all over me and my new jeans and boots. The family laughed while I was embarrassed. Aunt Evelyn washed my clothes, and I sat wrapped around in a blanket. Good memories. That from the Elk Plain Drifter.
Sounds like a good memory.
We got one birthday request.
What are we doing today, Dad? Castrating that bull, son.
Cool. Let me put on my new jeans.
All the bitches, please wish a happy birthday to my beautiful stepmom and best friend JJ, a.k.a. DBFWOG. I don't know what I'd do with her, and I'm so glad she's been such a huge, amazing part of my life for the last 20-plus years. So how about your penis is too small? And look out. And the dirty German's telling her she definitely does not look 60. Lots of love from your DBFWVP.
Uh-oh, look out.
I'm very out of touch. I have no idea what this stuff means.
Yeah, DBFWOG. Some people think it means Dragon Ball Fusion World OG, but here in Deutschland, it stands for Down's Big Flesh Without Gagging.
See, all I read there was this appears to be like a Kanye West thing. I think he's sleeping with his mother-in-law.
Yeah, but it's a stepmom. It is all okay. They have a tab for that.
See, as they do. Sometimes stepmom gets lonely.
Yeah, and let me tell you,
it says on my site.
I'm 55. Even if you look 60, it is all good.
All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ja, the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Couple extra emails. Thank you there, Robin. Let's see. Random stuff.
Smooth.
Exactly.
I guess one band.
No, yeah, weapon.
Guys, catching up on the Odyssey app. Speed limits in Germany. Bitches, Germany effing loves speed cameras. There are other roads besides the Autobahn. They don't have the Face Your Accuser Amendment. That makes cameras in these states questionable. Also, near major metropolitan areas, the Autobahn flowing through has variable speed limits, like I-90, I-5. Also, still waiting for the world tour to stop by here. That from your U.S. listener on beautiful Lake Constance in Germany.
Yeah, I always go 69.
You know, my buddy's son's in Munich right now.
Oh, yeah?
Is it really? What's he doing?
Drinking.
Partying?
Yeah. He graduated college, saved up some money, met a European girl at a festival. So he's over there for a month chilling.
I was going to say, technically, it's not Oktoberfest there now. That actually happens in September, right?
Yeah.
Or does it continue on through the month of October?
I think it starts in September. I have a friend who's a beer rep, and she goes, I don't think she went this year, but I would say like the last 5 to 10 years she's gone. She actually has more than any woman you know. More, is it Drindles? Is that what they call the St. Pauli girl? Okay. Mm-hmm. So she's like, I have multiple Drindles, which I find hilarious. And she goes, look, based on my job, they want it to be authentic. And every time I go, I'm either gifted one or I get a new one. But like, she has a collection of Drindles, but it's for business. Because she's like, I go there and I'm doing business. But in Oktoberfest, you wear the Drindle.
I had a woman walk up to me in the weed store a couple weeks ago and hand me a little plastic duck and told me thanks and have a great weekend.
A plastic duck?
A little plastic duck. A little plastic toy duck. She just handed it to me. Said, have a wonderful weekend, and walked off. And I'm sitting there with this little plastic duck in my hand. I'm like, well, thank you. That's very nice of you.
No, you're supposed to say you're welcome. She thanked you. So what did you do to earn this plastic duck?
I don't know. I have no idea. She just walked up to me.
Was she German?
No. She just walked up and gave me a little plastic duck.
Was it in a Drindle?
No, I still have it. I kept it. I thought it'd be
No, I'm just wondering. He's telling a story about a Drindle.
As far as just gifting things to people out of nowhere.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me a plastic duck.
Right. I was like,
I like turtles.
What is this about?
Miles, you are correct, though. Their Oktoberfest just ended.
It did. Okay. One more. What surprising thing did you find out about a friend, coworker, or family member? Hello, guys. Got one you guys
I found
might
out
like.
my coworker has a plastic duck.
Give it to him by a string.
I'll bring it in for you, especially Ted. My first second grade teacher's cousin is Kenny Loggins.
Nice.
When I found that out, I just thought it was one of the coolest things ever. So recently, I reconnected with her, and she told me that the family reunions with him were always interesting. Apparently, when Kenny was starting to play guitar, he would play for the family, and they thought he was so talented at doing it. But about 20 minutes of him constantly playing and following everyone around, they tell him, all right, Kenny, all right, that's enough. We get it. You really enjoy playing the guitar. Also, because of that connection to my teacher, my parents were lucky enough to meet him backstage after he performed at the Evergreen State Fair.
All right.
Keep on rocking, guys. You are the best. That from Chester. Oh, wow.
Ted, if you were to meet Kenny Loggins, would you tell him that you named your penis after him?
I don't know that I would tell him now.
Why is that?
We haven't been putting out hit records, man.
Oh, yeah. I moved on.
So I don't want to disappoint him.
I see.
I feel like next year, when we start putting out hits again, we will let Kenny know.
You're working on an album. You're working on some new stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing a little introspective album.
Okay. All right.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the kitchen, like appliances and cookware. You'll have money left over for a sauce pot, so you can make your mom's famous gravy recipe.
Yuck.
Or at least try to. Or that cutting board for the ultimate holiday party buffet.
Is that a charcuterie pyramid?
Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, couple of minutes. We'll drink and toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. Thousands of unemployed people in the UK are involved in a study on if a shot like Ozempic will get them back to work.
Why would a shot like Ozempic get them back to work?
They were a little bit on the beefier side.
Okay.
So
I've worked with beefy people. I mean, like, either you go to work or you freaking don't. I mean, look, I don't know. I'm just throwing it up.
Right.
Well, if you're a country like that, I would hope that ultimately the goal is to bring down the amount the government has to pay for universal health care.
Right.
That would seem to me like if I am in charge and I'm paying that bill because everybody gets free health care, then I want to make sure that anybody who might want this drug or want to try it has the opportunity to, because in the end, it just ends up saving me money and extends their life.
You know, if you just said it that way, much easier thing.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Problem solved.
People are less fat. They're more going to work.
Yeah, but you don't, screw with your healthcare system as much.
Right.
I get you. A new study found that social media videos may be scaring millions of people into believing that they have ADHD.
Look, you don't have ADHD. It's the way they present it.
Well, and don't forget that TikTok and Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels and all that, that is just replete with people saying, if you actually do this, if you bounce your leg, that means you have ADD.
Right. We do that here because we don't have universal health care. In countries that have universal health care, they're like, you're bouncing your leg because that's what people do.
No other country, they say, ask your doctor what prescription drug you should give me because I'm not a doctor.
Right.
Because my leg's bouncing up and down while I watch a video.
Right.
It's like
if it's a 30-second video, what do you want people to do? That is what you've given them.
It's like going to the auto mechanic.
I only have 30 seconds to offer you, then it's another video. And if that one lasts 1 minute, well, even if you want more, you can watch it again, but that's the entirety of the content.
Do you disassociate more times than not during the day?
I mean, it's like, come on, man.
Do you find it hard to focus? Do you get tired at work? You might have ADHD.
You also might be working.
Right. Exactly. There's not much scientific backing for the TikTok theory that taking Mucinex might help you get pregnant.
Wow. That's a different one.
There's
maybe it does.
Some sort of a chemical in there that boosts the amount of or
estrogen or something.
It either boosts or reduces the amount of mucus.
Okay.
So my guess is it's going to reduce the amount of mucus, which I suppose helps the pathway because there's mucus in there that.
You know what? It's one of the. I'm guessing. Okay. They're probably not wrong, but you need to quantify it. So you hear that, hey, man, bananas have a certain amount of radiation and potassium, whatever.
Right.
And I was reading today, and they said this is true. And if you can find it within yourself to eat 1.5 trillion bananas, you will, in fact, die of radiation poisoning.
Dear God.
So they're not lying. It's just you
physically
gotta eat.
Impossible.
I like bananas. That's a lot of bananas.
You will die from eating that many bananas before the radiation gets you. But if you could actually stomach 1.5 trillion bananas per human being,
right,
then yes, the radiation would get to you. So I'm sure it's probably along those lines. Like maybe if
when I was a kid, you couldn't eat the alpacores. It had the seeds, right?
Yeah, cyanide, right? Or arson.
Arson. One of them. But yeah, then somebody finally looked at me. I go, "You eating the core?" And he's like, "Yeah, man. Do you know how many of these seeds and cores you'd have to eat?"
Right, exactly.
I was like, you know what? You're right. I just never thought about it.
What was it? 3 trillion?
I saw 1.5 trillion.
1.5 trillion. So to get 2/3 of the way there, to get imagine that you ate one banana a second. Okay, it would take you 31,688 years to eat 1 trillion of that 1.5.
But it doesn't mean they're lying. They just don't quantify the statement.
Correct. You guys ever had someone try to educate you on a subject that you can confidently say you know a lot more than them about?
Yeah. I do it with my kids all the time.
Right. Good point. Good news is there's a list of responses that we can send their way.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 snarky things to say when someone underestimates your intelligence. Give one of these tried and tested solutions a go the next time you are dealing with a know-it-all blowhard like me. This one always works. Thanks, Pee Wee Herman. I know you are, but what am I? Or try Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. I eat pieces of crap like you for breakfast. And if those don't work, this one definitely will. I am rubber. You are glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you.
I think VD got bullied a lot.
I always remember, you're little, the first time you hear like an insult from school and you tell your parents, and my mom's like, that's sticks and stones to break my bones, but what, names, words, what, never heard.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom, I think you're misunderstanding this. I don't want to get hit with sticks and stones. I'm not trying to encourage them to physical violence.
Right.
I'm just saying what they said sucked, but I'll just take the verbal abuse.
My dad always taught me to resort to physical violence. You got somebody screwing with you, punch him right between the eyes. He won't do that again.
That's all my dad said. Well, no, my dad said, look, you got to do it second. Correct. If I find that you start a fight, and I've said this to my kids, I will have to kill you. But look, if someone puts their hands on you, he goes in it, and the first time I tested his theory, he's this big dude, in my mind, Doug Curry, 4th grade man. He's chirping at me in the locker, and somehow the locker room of the gym was the most terrifying place because that's the one time there was zero parental supervision. You know what I mean? Gym teacher's like around the corner in the office.
There's D's flying around everywhere.
Man, I'm ready. Like he shoved me, and I really didn't want him to. It scared the piss out of me, but my father just hit him in the nose. So I did. I really didn't want to, but I did. And man, he was right.
Right.
I was like, yeah, all right, dog. Yeah. Yeah, bitch. But don't hit me back.
Run.
Now that I've hit you, I'm going to sprint.
So these are snarky things to say when someone underestimates your intelligence. And what made you think I didn't know that already?
Yeah, it's a diesel line.
I just feel like statements that our old boss might say. Do you feel a need to teach me to blink and swallow as well?
God, that does sound like our old boss as well.
I mean, I like that one. They're all very impatient. Why are you in my office? Again,
he said that a lot.
Someone underestimates your intelligence. You say, I suggested in the future you ask someone about their familiarity before giving them a lecture on something they already know.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
It's long-winded, and I feel like they'd interrupt you before then, but...
it depends. I feel like that's something a teacher says to you in high school kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you're more admonishing them at that point.
Right.
Mr. Like Hill, in the future, I would suggest that perhaps, and you go, oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like if it's a topic I really know something on, people start talking, I'll go, okay, all right. Here's actually how it works.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes people just drive me up a wall with certain topics.
Yes,
and, I try not to engage, but there are certain times where I'll just be like, all right, well, that's just not how it works. If I need to explain to you what happens in this situation, I will.
I believe I've heard you say, quote, no offense, but shut the F up.
Yeah. No offense. More to the point, yes.
It is. Right?
No offense.
That just won't work.
That's right. Snarky thing to say when someone underestimates your intelligence. I love this. Short and sweet. I know more than you.
Okay. Sounds like our old boss as well.
Yeah.
And all of these sound like
Why do we keep playing this? I know more than you.
Okay.
Leave.
He's not wrong.
This one actually kind of helps the point. They'll sit there and just give you a lecture about something that you already know. Your response, you don't say.
Yeah, that works.
Thank you for bringing me up to speed on what I know.
Is that how that works?
Right. Is that really how it goes?
No, yes.
Okay. I see you're unfamiliar with my experience in this subject.
Ooh, I like that.
That's a good one. I like that one a lot.
That means you're actually irritated.
That's also, how do I put this? It's like that's constructive yet also stingy.
But both it helps though.
Right.
Both of those things.
Oh, I see you're unfamiliar with my experience in this. Okay. Well then.
This is why, and look, my brother did the Monday night game last night, right?
Yeah. Oh God.
And look, I'm a passionate football fan. And I'll argue with him about something, then I'm like, he's just giving me this look. I'm like, I'm just going to shut up. I know you know more. Fine.
This one's kind of a reworking.
You know what?
Still a bad call.
Dumbest one I've had in a while is I will argue the flavor of different crabs with everybody. And I was at a hockey game with my buddy Jared, and I'm sitting next to Keith Coburn, who runs one of the boats on the goddamn fishing show. And
you know this at the time.
Right. So Jared kind of messed with me. He goes, Ted, tell him what you think about flavor of crabs. And he's like, where are you from, Ted? And I go, well, Maryland. He goes, I don't want to hear it. Oh! Right. He's just like, come on. It's not king crab. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah. Come on, get real. He's like, this is what I do for a living. I was like, you're right.
When you say it like that, I feel stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And after my second comment, I'm like, why am I trying to argue with the guy that literally hunts king crab?
Right. This one's actually kind of a reworking of what you say, Ted, but my knowledge in this might challenge your assumptions.
See, that's a better way than being like, no offense, shut the F up.
I like your method better.
I'm guessing that had to be a sporting event.
Yeah.
I said that. Like, why would we be in cover 2 right now, Mike? This This is when you throw the dime package in.
I like this one. This one's a power move if you can actually make this statement. I've already forgotten more than you can learn about this subject.
Oh,
yeah. That's pretty good.
Actually, on that note, we're talking about our old boss.
Yeah.
One of the best lines I heard him say, he was a little junked up, but we're in Alaska. He likes his wine.
Yes, he does.
He's very much about his wine.
Oh, yes.
So we went to some joint.
I love this.
The guy back there, he brought out whatever bottle he brought. Look, Miles and I.
It was his pick.
We don't know, but the guy's like, I'm kind of like the sommelier of Anchorage, right? So he shows our boss this bottle of wine. Our boss looks him dead in the eye and goes, I re-gift better S than this. God damn,
Wasn't
dude.
he being a snarky a-hole, too?
The guy behind the bar?
Yeah.
In his OP shorts? Yeah.
That was a different bar.
Oh, was that a different bar?
Yeah, that was a different bar.
They all start to meld together after a while.
Because you couldn't keep it together, and you kept laughing, and we thought we were going to get kicked out of the steakhouse because you couldn't stop laughing.
It looked ridiculous. And it was funny.
Did you point at him?
I can already
I didn't like point, but
he won't stop looking at it. He's the only bartender there. I'm like, don't mess with the bartender. Please.
God, I can
And his
see this
steakhouse.
vividly, and I wasn't even there.
Oh, why do we sit at the bar?
Oh, my God. I love this one. I bet third graders are really impressed by you.
oh, wow. It's not an insult if you're in first grade, but after that, it gets a little bad.
Oh, my God. And then this is the...
I've had it said to me, and I say it to people sometimes too, like, that's just not true. Where did you look? Who told you that?
Yeah, I've had that one before.
Yeah, because it's like, somebody told you that because you're taking it for fact.
The problem is when you ask someone who told you that, you know you've got them because 99% of the time they have an answer.
Okay.
It's not like I learned it through this or I did this. Like my buddy Jeff. And you're like, exactly. Like all of your legal advice from your non-lawyer friends, like, don't know.
There was one that I actually had with my wife that she... I think I pulled a shock move and I swallowed my toothpaste after I was done brushing my teeth, and she was like, "Don't do that! You're gonna get white spots on your teeth." And she said this in her late 20s, and I looked at her and said, "Did your mom tell you that when you were like a kid?" She went, "Yeah." Okay.
Yeah, all right, that's all I need to know.
She didn't want you swallowing your toothpaste.
I love you, baby. I love you.
And then this is the last snarky thing to say when somebody underestimates your intelligence and it goes completely the opposite direction. You're absolutely right.
I do that as much at the bar. I find I will do that at the bar because you get these people that get themselves wound up about whatever. They go, dude, you're right.
Right.
Guys like us, Dad.
Keanu Reeves theory.
The Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, just ignore stupidity.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man.
Don't acknowledge it.
You know what I'm saying, right? No.
Sure.
I have no idea what you're saying. I was not there.
I'm just drinking, man.
Yeah. Thank you for the shot. I should have drank it.
Let's just take our shots and leave.
If I'd known you were going to continue to talk, I would not have accepted this shot from you.
Seriously, right? A woman in Spain collapsed after getting bit by the family pet, but you won't believe what the family pet was, Miles.
What is the family pet?
But at 5:50.
Okay.
Richard Gere.
Headlines are coming up there at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK. Have we made it to drinking time?
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday athletic gifts like bikes, tents, and outdoor gear. You'll have money left over for a premium yoga mat so you can try to touch your toes by New Year's.
Almost there.
Or that Pro Series 2-person sled with titanium alloy skis. Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Life can be hectic, and managing your mental health is more important today than ever before. That's why Mindful Therapy Group's mission is to take the difficulty out of finding a therapist. Whether you need talk therapy, psychological testing, even medication management, Mindful has you covered. Our compassionate therapists specialize in helping you navigate stress, anxiety, ADHD, OCD, and so much more. With both in-person and telehealth appointments available, you can get the support you need in as little as 48 hours. To make things easier, Mindful Therapy Group also accepts most insurance plans, including Medicare, allowing you to focus on you and not your wallet. Mindful mental health providers offer services for children, teens, adults, and seniors seeking individual, family, or couples therapy. Whatever you need, we're here for you. Join us to start your journey to a healthier and happier you. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com or call 562-MINDFUL to get started today.
Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How did you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just go to their website.
Go to unlock.com/radio to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Go to unlock.com/radio right now to see if you qualify to unlock the value in your home. That's unlock.com/radio. Go to unlock.com/radio.
We know what they really want this holiday. The perfect pleasure present from Lovers. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and grab something to satisfy yourself, too. Lovers has all the toys and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for the hottest holiday gifting. Mention presents for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the kids, like arts, crafts, games, and tech. You'll have money left over for some new board games to boost the kids' confidence.
You won again.
Or that multi-voice changing megaphone so you can really spread the cheer.
Happy holidays.
Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And by the way, if you were at the Godsmack show on Sunday, it was nice doing a toast with that many people all at once.
It did sound awesome.
Man, I don't know. It just makes it better. It really does. Yeah. And everyone's, I felt like the little kids were there drinking, like, give me a shot of apple juice. Give me something.
Harry, he's doing the thing.
Today, we toast an unknown person from somewhere in Canada. Now, many times during the shot of the day, we have insulted the intelligence of some would-be criminals that just make a blunder. In this case, you're not supposed to victim shame, but I'm going to share the story, and you'll probably agree, come the hell on. So, someone put an out-of-order sign on a night deposit box on the night deposit slot at a bank. And then it further had instructions to put any deposit you wanted to make into the metal box that was padlocked to a tree with a heavy chain around the corner. Well, early the next morning, the brilliant crook unlocked it, took the box away with an undisclosed number of deposits. The simplicity of the con and the stupidity of the victims paid dividends for this person. So again, just put out of order. Just put your money in that box. Keep in mind, the box is around the corner, chained to a tree. And people did. Thief came by the next day, picked up his money, and off they went. They had absolutely no leads. No one has any idea. And right now, the bank's like, hey, we're not taking responsibility for this. But I would never try that plan myself because it seems like it's going to fail. But not in Canada. They're just too nice. Oh, no. So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Oh, I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Owen. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Owen, you understand how this here game is played?
Do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of 3 stories today. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. And finally today, Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem.
Go with drugs.
Yes. All right, we go to Austria, where a man got really, really high on drugs and made the horrible decision to amputate his own penis with an axe. The 37-year-old man had what doctors are calling a psychotic episode and then used an axe to not only sever his penis, but then chop his penis into several pieces after that. The man reportedly tied a piece of cloth around his genital area to control the bleeding and then placed the severed pieces of junk into a jar that he filled with snow. He then left his house bleeding profusely in search of help, which he would not have needed if he did not chop off his penis with an axe. Well, a passerby found him in a, quote, confused state, and they called emergency services. So he made it to the hospital 5 hours later in critical condition, having lost a significant amount of blood. He was immediately taken into surgery. His penis, which was still in the jar, it was contaminated with soil and snow, and parts of it were, what they're saying, severely damaged. Now, surgeons were able to reattach the tip, but only 2 centimeters of shaft, or about 3/4 of an inch. That is it. And he did survive. The question is, what drug was he on when he took an axe to his own penis? Was he on mushrooms? Was he on meth? Was he on bath salts or PCP? So mushrooms, meth, bath salts, or PCP?
Man. What does Ted think?
I mean, honestly, could be any of them. My first thought before he gave us choices was meth, just because I think about meth in that area of the world.
Is Austria known for meth?
Hitler was Austrian.
You know what? When you say it like that,
I know.
Fine point.
That's
true.
Right?
It's true.
I could see maybe mushrooms if he's never done them, but I feel like chopping off body parts is usually PCP or bath salts. I just don't think about Europe being PCP.
Is PCP a hallucinogen?
It is.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You know what? Screw it. Let's go old school. Maybe let's go PCP.
PCP for Ted. Owen, what are you thinking?
Let's go PCP. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go bath salts and do the old curveball there. All right, just in case they have bath salts in Australia. Who knows? All right, what was this guy on when he mutilated his penis? Mushrooms, meth, bath salts, or PCP? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories drugs on Profile This. We go to Austria, where an Austrian man got high on drugs and used an axe to basically chop up his penis. into small little pieces.
Yeah.
He put it on snow, but the snow was dirty, so there were certain parts of that they were not able to reattach certain parts of what he had chopped.
Correct.
They did reattach a very, very, very small part of his penis. Question is, what drug was this guy on? Mushrooms, meth, bath salts, or PCP?
And Owen, that is the question we posed to you, but let us start with Miles Montgomery went with the bath salts, which does seem like a likely culprit because nobody does anything good on those.
Okay.
And Owen, you agree with E.T. Smith. You both went PCP, where no one does anything good on that. However, not PCP, mushrooms.
Was mushrooms.
My man took shrooms. And like I said, I've taken shrooms a lot. Never even thought about doing that.
Never thought of
crossed
ruining my penis.
No.
Oh, no, Dewey, it's a bad trip.
Chop off my penis.
Now, for all TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. You got Seth Meyers, of course. The Jimmies.
Fallon and Kibble.
Stephen Colbert. Tomlinson. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That's right there. The title. These guys have scenes and talented writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Scientists in Denmark say they've come up with a drug that mimics the effects of running a 10K. But we all know the real question is, do you still get to put the 10K sticker on your car?
Fallon. The Ted Smith.
Smith. Good joke. Here's my other question. Are you going to be sore?
Right. What effects exactly?
Sounds like a speedball.
That's what I thought, Miles. Like, if it's just a pill that makes you burn calories, fine. But don't call it an exercise drug. No. Like,
if it makes you want to exercise, it's an exercise drug, yeah.
In Brazil, a video has gone viral of a monkey drinking beer. The drunken monkey has been so popular, he's been immortalized in a children's book. We're worried about you, George.
Colbert.
Yeah, I'll say Colbert.
Yeah, it's Colbert.
In Brazil, a video has gone viral of a monkey drinking beer. The beer drinking monkey is so popular, he's been immortalized in the new children's book. We're worried about you, George.
McDonald's in Spain has come out with a Friends-themed adult Happy Meal with figurines of all 6 cast members and your choice of a Big Mac, Quarter Pounder, or a McChicken with something called Monica's Marinara. 1, marinara is not really a Friends thing. 2, it's not really a Spanish thing. And 3, it's not really a McDonald's thing.
Myers.
Kimmel. Colbert.
If you like burgers and the TV show Friends, McDonald's in Spain is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the show with an adult Happy Meal that comes with figurines of all 6 cast members and a choice of a Big Mac, a Quarter Pounder, or McChicken, and something called Monica's Marinara. 1, marinara isn't really a Friends thing. 2, it's not really a Spanish thing. And 3, it's also not really a McDonald's thing.
Miles, you'll appreciate it. I watch a guy that travels the world and eats food. He always eats fast food. People always jump in the comments, why would you go there and try the McDonald's? He's like, they have different stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, hell, man. I was talking to Ryan Castle early on Saturday morning, and he and Jeets called me up right there down in Los Angeles. And I said, what are you doing? They said, we're in a Taco Bell eating breakfast. And I said, why are you in a Taco Bell? They serve margaritas here. We're 4 deep.
Okay.
Before the pandemic, Delta Airlines said statistically it was easier to get in an Ivy League school than become one of their flight attendants. And I hope that's really not true. They're not going to Harvard. They're babysitting adults on their way to Duluth.
Come on. I'll say Colbert.
Tomlinson.
Before the pandemic, Delta said that statistically it was easier to get into an Ivy League school than it was to become one of their flight attendants. I really hope that's not true. They're not going to Harvard. They're babysitting adults on their way to Duluth.
You know, Miles, it's funny you tell that story. That is a weird one. Outside of, like, maybe tailgating, I don't feel like oftentimes fast food gets mixed up with booze.
No. That's why I was like, wow, that's cool. They're like, yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah, you either have it, like, during the day in the morning or later at night.
Right.
But generally, I'm not just like, I'm going to pound a beer and eat nuggets.
You know, they...
not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's a joke a couple of years ago, just because, McDonald's in Germany, different kind of thing. So a German tourist is here in the U.S., right? He's waiting in line at McDonald's and finally gets up to the counter and orders like cheeseburger and a beer. And the guy behind him starts laughing, going, "You dumbass, you think they serve beer at McDonald's?" Then the German guy starts laughing and goes, "Oh, you came here for the food."
Well, it's funny because now they sell beer basically in every college stadium.
Yeah.
But for years, you couldn't do it in college stadiums. I want to say maybe if you played in a pro stadium, I don't know. If the stadium wasn't on the campus, there was a couple schools that did it. But it was pretty rare. But I have been years ago at a college football game where all the traveling fans were from one of those schools. And I mean, these dudes, I don't blame them, but they're just like almost like in a panic. And they're just like, man, we have walked this entire stadium. Like, where is the beer stands? We're like college game. They don't have them.
Right.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, listen, I know most people, whether you're a Husky or a Coug, everybody agrees, like, you hate the Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, Phil Knight is the reason that you could buy alcohol at games now. He was sick and tired of it, so then he got it in the suites. And then I want to say he started having, like, how they have the zone at Husky games.
Yeah.
He built, like, these private areas that there was like, okay, we could serve them here. And then I think eventually he was just like, look, I spend more money on that university and NCAA sports. Like, let people drink.
You're missing a golden opportunity by leaving the gates open, allowing re-entry, and having people go out to their cars at halftime and drink their own booze rather than selling it there. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's a lot like the strip clubs, right? Like, I know a couple of girls that have danced in town, and she's like, yeah, in Seattle it kind of sucked because people show up just
hammered
on drugs or blacked out hammered, as opposed to, like, sitting there and having some drinks.
Right, taking your time, spending money.
It's kind of an interesting list. These are basically just surprise secondary careers or hobbies of celebrities.
Okay.
Some of these you might know. Nick Offerman. What do you think his hobby is? Or secondary career? Mike, you might know this one. Think about him, right? He's old. His shtick is traditional.
Is he like a fishing guide or something?
Woodworking or something?
Close. Owns a wood shop.
Oh.
He's known to build props, sets, building decks, and cabins.
That's cool. All right. I dig that.
Mike won't know this. You guys will know this. Steve Martin.
Plays the banjo.
He's won Grammys for his banjo playing.
Yes, he has.
His bluegrass band.
And even from the very first moment he did stand-up, he brought a banjo out on stage.
Yep.
I want to say he still tours and does some, like, just musical shows.
He does.
Banjo.
He does. And apparently, it's very, very good. I've never heard it, not been, but the reviews have always been like, dude, he's awesome.
They make mini banjos, too, like ukuleles.
Do they?
Yeah.
Right.
I was at a guitar shop a couple months ago checking them out.
For teeny tiny banjo players.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think about the fact the guy was going to say, oh, yeah, man, well, you know how to, like, obviously, he just handed it to me like, you've ever tried.
How's your mandolin?
Well, it's a little different than the one I use.
Yeah, how is that thing? You learn anything on it yet?
We haven't learned a song yet.
Okay.
We're getting there. Bella Hadid. Haddad.
I think it's Hadid, but I'm not sure.
Remember, what is it? Her mother or father owns some... Right, I think they already had like a clothing company or something that's super famous.
Okay.
She grew up with a lot of money.
Fashion influencer.
Accountant?
Think of a rich, super rich chick. What hobby would she have growing up?
Rides horses.
Goddamn right.
Is that really what it is?
Equestrian and competes.
Huh.
Erykah Badu, to her credit, this is just a, I guess, side job that's actually good for people. She's a trained doula.
Really?
She's delivered more than 50 babies.
Okay.
Huh.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't guess it, but once you say it, I'm like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a distraction. Erykah Badu, what the hell are you doing here?
Ignore me and push.
But seriously. Can you sing?
I don't know. She's delivering for us, Miles.
I'd be in there and tapping her on the shoulder. Come on, man.
Now, David Arquette has a few, right? Because remember, I want to say he was the champion in WCW for like a few months or something. So obviously wrestling's a thing. He still wrestles. But he also performs as Bozo the Clown.
Are you kidding?
He recently bought the rights to it.
I will be there.
So he can be Bozo.
He's the only, at this point, I guess unless he hires somebody else, like if you saw Bozo the Clown, that's David Arquette.
I'll be damned. Wow. I haven't seen him lately, but still, that's interesting.
I don't like to use the word strange all the time. So, Miles, that's a good word. I would describe that whole family as interesting.
I think that's fair.
Let's see. Morgan Freeman, he's a beekeeper and even converted his Mississippi ranch into a bee sanctuary.
I like bees.
Bees make honey. I put it in my tea. I drink the tea.
Let's see. These celebrities with surprisingly secondary careers and hobbies. Seth Rogen.
I know what he does. He makes pottery and smoking utensils.
He does pottery, has a company called Houseplant to sell his pieces, and as even they say here, they're mostly smoking accessories.
Yes, and I followed him on Twitter. That's all it was him smoking weed and making pottery.
Okay.
Which I was like, all right, man, you look like you're having a good time.
And he makes like little trays. You can
do your seeds in it.
Yeah, ground up your weed and roll the joint. Jim Carrey.
He is a painter.
He's an artist. He sculpts, he draws, and he paints.
Wow.
Tom Selleck.
Avocado farmer.
He owns an avocado ranch.
Because he's one of the people that was draining all the money or all the water in California like 2 or 3 years ago. Because remember, like the Kardashians got in trouble. They kept watering their lawn during the drought. They're like, you guys got to cut it out. And the other name that came up was Tom Selleck because he was watering his avocado farm.
I'll be damned.
And he also has plants flowers on his land. But yeah, his land is so big. Also, he got a lot of. And he's like, well, I'm selling. It's like, doesn't matter. Right. It's still your private land. You're not supposed to be doing it.
He's just growing out a stash and selling it as a merkin.
Now, the best one on the list, you might not even. The guy, he was a child star. I think he was a child. He was short, but he got out of acting. Frankie Muniz.
Oh yeah. Auto racing, right?
He is. So he races currently in the truck series for NASCAR, and I think he's had a couple races. I don't know what they call the big series anymore, right? Because it's not Winston Cup or whatever. Right. It might be Xfinity Series. Either way, he's had a couple races on the Cup Series, but he's pretty damn good. Like eventually, I think he will have a full-time ride.
Wow.
He also might have enough money that he could do it himself, but I don't know if you guys saw. We don't talk a lot of NASCAR, but like I think Jordan. And I forget the other dude with him. They're suing NASCAR. It's like, you guys, you're charging us way too much.
How?
It's NASCAR, it's something with the rules, and you can only have so many cars, but you got to have so much capital to get a car in there.
Okay, all right.
So, if you've ever watched, IndyCar, right? There's an Indy series.
Yes.
Now, the Indianapolis 500 is kind of like a giant open event. So weeks before that race, other people who don't race a ton could go qualify for that race.
Oh, that's cool.
When NASCAR runs at the Brickyard, right, where they run the Indy, sometimes there's drivers that are just super good at riding stock cars and ovals. So somebody will be like, hey, Miles, you come up and drive my car for this oval. Same when they do that street race in Chicago. There's certain guys that race just for that race that usually are on the truck series or the series below that. But yeah, Frankie Muniz, I'm like, that's pretty cool.
He's been doing it for a long time now, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I want to say he started, there's all different race series, right? But I know there's a lot of big, sports car series that are pretty competitive that run on road courses and stuff. So obviously being a famous actor already, he had money for that. Also, shout out to him. He's a diehard Clippers fan since the beginning. But I think he actually just, it turned in from hey, I have money, I could do this hobby to I'm good at this. I want to do this. Yeah, and I think it's been long enough now where, I don't think people hound him about being, Malcolm in the middle.
Right.
But, and he's cool with it. He's just I just want to go out and race, and, I want to earn it. I don't want to just buy my way into it.
Isn't there, a young kid that got a gig based on his skills on a simulator?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was so good.
That's amazing, too.
Yeah, he's so good on the sim.
Right.
I mean, it's wild. Those F1 dudes, man. Max Verstappen, at one point this season, because he started losing some races, and they were like, you got to get off the sim at night. You're spending too much time on the video games that we think it's affecting how you're driving during the races.
Huh.
But yeah, those real ones they have are unbelievable. Yeah, I want to say there's a guy, either in IndyCar or NASCAR right now, that literally was a teenager or something before he ever got behind the wheel of a car. You got to keep in mind, F1 guys start at these little go-karts.
Oh, yeah.
And even a lot of these NASCAR guys, they start as kids, right? But up at, say, Evergreen Speedway.
Right.
Hornet racing.
Hornet racing until the radio guy flips it, ruins their car.
Mm-hmm. Well, he got rubbed.
You still got some playoff baseball going on tonight. I believe tonight is just ALCS. Okay. Last night we had both games on. I don't know, man. Who knows? It's just going to be. It's just going to be the Yankees and the Dodgers.
You can see the spike.
CBS, hey, you know what, CBS? Keep doing what you're doing, right? So they have one night where everything's Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago cops, Chicago fire, Chicago hospitals. Tonight's FBI night. 7th season premiere of FBI on CBS. 4th season premiere of FBI International after that. And then after that, the 6th season premiere of FBI Most Wanted.
Great. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening.
We know what they really want this holiday. The perfect pleasure present from Lovers. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and grab something to satisfy yourself, too. Lovers has all the toys and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for the hottest holiday gifting. Mention presents for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday electronic gifts like monitors, tablets, and video games. You'll have money left over for that drum set for your little drummer. And some noise-canceling headphones. Or an outdoor speaker system so the entire neighborhood can hear your holiday tunes. Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
To the men's room.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
At our top story, we go to Spain, where a woman collapsed outside of the hospital. She was bitten by the family pet and sustained an injury bad enough that she believed it merited a trip to the hospital. She, with her 2 kids in tow, made her way to the medical center and made it all but 4 feet from the door when she collapsed outside of the building. Doctors came to her aid from inside, attempted to resuscitate her, but she was sadly pronounced dead at the scene. They're conducting an autopsy to determine what exactly was the cause of her death. But the only thing that they've got to go on is the bite itself, which she sustained from the family pet, the hamster.
Damn.
Yeah. So basically,
The hamster.
I think they're going through was like sometimes rabies or whatever it is that animals can carry. Sometimes that can just swim through the body that quickly. But the fact that she sustained the bite and it was already bad enough to where she was like, we have to go to the hospital like now.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is all the hamster.
I'm looking now. They say, yes, hamsters can get rabies, but it's rare.
Right. And especially if they're at home.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean? Like,
rabies?
Like what? I suppose everything's got to start from somewhere, but isn't rabies just a transmitted disease? It's not like, oh,
right.
No, he's now rabid. Like,
right.
Something has to have bitten them or something like that, which a hamster... Yeah, technically you could get rabies with your hamster.
But just gotten a hamster. Unbeknownst to her, it just been bitten by another hamster.
She found it out back by the trash can?
Yeah, she got that Cujo hamster.
Oh, no, it's rabid. Yeah. In other news, we go to the lovely world of the internet where one woman was left flabbergasted. In a video that has gone viral and amassed more than 3 million views, the woman is shopping at her local Walmart when she happens upon a product that she's having an issue finding the demographic for. It's called, listen carefully, the Fuggler.
The Fuggler, yes.
A funny, ugly monster that comes in a variety of collectible appearances featuring colorful furry skin, drowsy eyes, to say the least, mouths with realistic teeth, and underwear.
Oh, and underwear. That's good.
All right. She's completely floored by the appearance of these monsters and even bought a couple to unbox in another video, much to the joy of her followers who applauded the A-grade content. She's just walking around like, who is this for? Because it looks like a kid's toy, but my 6-year-old's going to be mortified if I give this to them.
Yeah, I had to Google it, and I'm like, yeah, you probably need to be a certain age to like that.
Right, and I think it's kind of for that odd in-between, not teenager anymore, not full-grown adult.
12, kind of.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You know, you got it because it looked weird, and you're going to put it in your room because it's, yeah. there's a group for it, and I'm
sure there is.
And honestly, I think that video will do them justice.
Oh, it'll be great.
I wouldn't even be shocked if that was a plant video at all. Like, oh my God, act just like floored by these things
right before Christmas.
Right, right. Somebody said it looked like a demented Furby.
It kind of does, yeah.
Right.
And the Furby's already a little twisted looking.
Yeah, I have to say, the Furbies actually, I thought, are creepier looking than that.
Yeah.
That's just me. Yeah.
Get ready. They're coming, man. Honestly, looking at them like, yeah, those things will go viral. Those things will end up in everybody's home and then immediately just be forgotten about.
Yep.
An inmate is on the lookout for love, but it's important to know her backstory. She posted on a site known as Write a Prisoner, where inmates are able to connect with people on the outside and announce to the world that she's on the market looking for a boyfriend, and she is a little bit of a looker. She stands at a respectable 5'9", weighs 115 pounds, and goes on to talk about false conviction theories and claims that her trial was used for television ratings, but says that she hasn't given up on meeting someone true, loving, loyal, respectful, non-judgmental, and devoted, a Boy Scout that she's looking for.
All right.
But it's worth mentioning that she's serving life sentence for the murder of her on and off again boyfriend, who she killed because he was going on a date with Miss Ohio. She shot him 6 times in the face, back, and torso, and despite claims of self-defense, was noted as boasting about killing him to fellow inmates, saying that she gave him the nose job that he'd always wanted.
Well, that doesn't help.
Yeah. No, it's false conviction. It was just for a publicity thing. They just did it for TV ratings. Yeah, but I killed his ass. God, I'm like, okay.
And she's looking for love. Okay.
Right. She even admits that she's the jealous type. You know,
we got that.
And she got jealous because he was going on a date. It's like, so you shot him
6 times.
Okay.
So, like, let's not say I'm the jealous type, right? Like, you murdered the dude.
Right.
Yeah, either way, jealous or not.
Right,
sure.
like I'm just saying, there's some people might be, again, a little jealous. You're like, honey, relax. But like, I don't expect her to shoot me.
Right. That goes beyond jealous. You're not jealous. You're crazy.
A murderer.
Just in case those stories have a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
We go to the UK where a handful of turtles made it back home safe. This particular species of turtle lives on the northern end of the British Isles and have thrived in warmer climates. But while out on the water one day, officials determined that they were likely blown off their course by unstable waters and started swimming to the colder waters of the North Atlantic. Given the shock of the colder climate and the long voyage, six turtles became fatigued and washed up on the beaches near Cornwall. They were found by officials and nursed back to health before being put aboard a Navy vessel who took them back home. I mean, I'd want to be on that boat. I'll take the doggone, I'll take the turtle.
Nice distraction.
Yeah, that's what they need. Men's Room Sports on tonight. You've got preseason basketball on NBA Network, college ball on ESPNU, Game 2 between the Guardians and the Yankees on TBS and True TV, and of course, your Seattle Kraken are in Nashville taking on the Predators. That game currently underway over on Kong, not on DirecTV, by the way. As far as your weather, batten down the hatches. We're in for scattered showers all night long into tonight into tomorrow, where we can expect some rainfall in the morning, letting up to just cloudy skies in the afternoon and a high of 59. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. More Disturbed tickets coming up tonight with the lovely Jolene. We'll see you again tomorrow for Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed, it's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
We know what they really want this holiday. The perfect pleasure present from Lovers. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and grab something to satisfy yourself, too. Lovers has all the toys and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for the hottest holiday gifting. Mention presents for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the kids, like arts, crafts, games, and tech. You'll have money left over for some new board games to boost the kids' confidence.
You won again.
Or that multi-voice changing megaphone so you can really spread the cheer.
Happy holidays.
Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Feeling overwhelmed? Struggling with mental health shouldn't be the norm. At Mindful Therapy Group, we specialize in connecting you with compassionate therapists that can support you through stress, anxiety, ADHD, and so much more. With in-person and telehealth appointments available, we can get you seen in as little as 48 hours. To make things easier, Mindful Therapy Group accepts most health insurances, including Medicare, allowing you to focus on you and not your wallet. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com to start your mental health journey today.
Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How did you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just go to their website.
Go to unlock.com/radio to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Go to unlock.com/radio right now to see if you qualify to unlock the value in your home. That's unlock.com/radio. Go to unlock.com/radio.